2 victories as Birmingham manager last season and a draw in the meeting at Hillsborough earlier this season. So I don't know if he's worked Marcelo Bielsa out, but he'll feel that maybe he's analysed and assessed and come up with a plan that works.
Yeah, if I've got any criticism about Leeds and the way that Bielsa plays, is that I feel that they don't mix it up enough. I think they're a little bit, not one-dimensional, but I thought the Arsenal game epitomised that. Arsenal dropped off, allowed Leeds to have loads of the ball in the first half, play out from the back. We looked amazing. Second half, they pushed on us and stopped us playing from the back, and that's when I feel we need to go from back to front a little bit quicker.
We're off, and Sheffield Wednesday are kicking towards the south stand end in the first half. First touch for keeper Cameron Dawson is a slice, but it's just kept in play on this near side by Urogide, the young guy who came in for his debut at Brighton in that FA Cup upset that Sheffield Wednesday caused last weekend. Urogide almost as famous for the interview he gave after the game as for his performance in the game, when he was gushing
wonderful
and full of enthusiasm, and a very, very happy chappy, having made his first appearance for Sheffield Wednesday, having been released previously by AFC Wimbledon. So football has a continuing ability to create really nice stories and tales. Can Leeds be at the end of a happy ending this current campaign, the centenary season? Leeds United top of the table at the start of play, pushing hard. But Sheffield Wednesday likely to provide another significant obstacle in terms of this game this afternoon. Leeds having drawn their last 2 home fixtures, Cardiff and then Preston North End. Leeds have a throw in on this near side. Harrison chucks the ball back to Douglas to take, and he goes back into his own half to Liam Cooper, back with the armband on again, and Ayling, the previous captain in the absence of Cooper, gets the ball and gives it back to skipper designate this afternoon, Liam Cooper, and he comes out towards this near side, and Douglas. Matchday Live on LUTV, brought to you by Deliveroo Food Freedom. Leeds United hold possession. It goes square to Ben White. Quick assessment shows Winnall playing through the middle for Sheffield Wednesday, as we anticipated, former Barnsley man. And it looks like Murphy down the right and Reach down the left. And Leeds attacking down the right-hand side with Ayling. Now Bamford, back it goes to Ayling again. He plays an outstep ball to Douglas on this near side, the left side, in towards the penalty area. Click with a little flick off towards the penalty spot. Doesn't quite arrive at the feet of Patrick Bamford. Barry Douglas has it back again, over the top for Click, just outside the penalty area. Ball up in the air, and it's headed clear as far as Calvin Phillips. And then it comes over the near side touchline, and Leeds United have a throw. The noise levels are high. Real intensity around this fixture. Sheffield Wednesday, what is it, 45 minutes down the M1 to Hillsborough.
I think, as we suggested before the start of the game, Bryn, Sheffield Wednesday setting up in a more of a 4-4-3-3 format. Like you say, with Reach pushing on and Murphy pushing on the right-hand side, and they're going to try and stifle Leeds and stop us playing out from the back, which we know is our game plan.
Luongo carries the ball forward for Wednesday now, out towards Murphy and back to Luongo, just outside the penalty area. Interception is a good one from Liam Cooper, and Barry Douglas, who keeps his place in the starting 11, plays the ball down the near side touchline behind Bamford, and Sheffield Wednesday win it back on the edge of the centre circle. And Borna, the German central defender, has the ball in the centre circle. On to Winnall it goes. Phillips, great challenge from Phillips on Luongo. Brings the ball out and out to Harrison. Now Harrison's snappy ball forward to Click, comes back to the halfway line, and Calvin Phillips. Phillips back into his own half to Douglas. Douglas back a little further to Liam Cooper. Now he switches out towards the right-hand touchline. Helder Costa, not sure he's had his first touch of the ball yet, but now he might have a chance as Dallas carries it for Leeds up towards the edge of the penalty area. Stuart Dallas tries to get across into the box. It loops up in the air, and will it come behind for the first corner kick of the game? Yes, it will. Reach it was who got back there to apply the final touch, and Leeds United applying pressure down the right-hand side. Calvin Phillips jogs forward to take the corner.
Yeah, I mean, we've played, what, 4 or 5 minutes. Everything's come down the left-hand side at the moment, and then a big switch, big diagonal ball to try and find Costa on the other side, and we've probed down there, and we managed to force a corner. So let's see if we can make it capitalise.
So Phillips spots the ball up over on the far side. Leeds attacking the Kop end here. Big crowd of players all gathered in a little cluster just outside the 6-yard box, so the referee steps in briefly. He'll keep an eye on that one. Players pushing, shoving, and the ball comes in low as it turns out. It's flicked towards the corner, towards the penalty spot. I think Ayling got out of the crowd there to get a little flick on the ball, and anything could have happened for that. In fact, the final touch off a Wednesday foot. Leeds have the throw in, almost level with the edge of the Sheffield Wednesday penalty area. On it goes to Click. Click lays it off for Harrison. Harrison takes it towards the byline. He delivers a good ball deep into the far side of the penalty area. Ayling's there waiting for it on the edge of the box. Low drive from Ayling to the near post. It's an easy catch for Cameron Dawson. First shot on goal for Leeds United.
Nice piece of play. Wasn't a great corner by Calvin Phillips on the right hand side, and a little bit scuffy, and I thought it was a Leeds United foot what had got a touch on it, but the referee gave it to us. And a nice piece of play down this left hand side by Harrison. He's put a great long deep crossing, like you're saying. Look, Ayling's just come off his right foot onto his weaker foot, I would say, and he's not
just outside the penalty area for Wednesday.
He's not troubled Dawson with it, has he?
And he hasn't troubled Dawson, and neither had Winnall troubled Leeds back line there. What a ball out that is from Casilla to Helder Costa. Just bobbles off the foot of Helder Costa. He might get another chance. So Bamford, he's just offside. He just strayed beyond the last man over on the far side. That's a shame for Leeds, because Bamford had a clear sight of space to run into there. Helder Costa's touch was a little heavy, and that's what gave him a bit of a challenge in terms of the run forward.
Absolutely, and looking at the surface, I mean, I was on the other side, and you know, you're quite high up in the other stand, and looking down upon it, and it's a little bit patchy in places, and you could just see as he was running with it there, he just took a little bit of a bobble, and it's got away from him, hasn't it?
First time I can ever remember seeing that Ellen Road, where you can actually, even from where we are now, you can see a few patches on the pitch, and you saw that maybe just a little bobble that beat Helder Costa on that occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a million miles from the days when we were here. I remember at one point they had the rugby playing on here on most weekends when we were away from home, and I think they caught the groundsman putting green sand on at one point just to make it look a little bit
cheat.
Make it look a little bit better.
Somebody had the job of painting that sand green as well. Stuart Dallas for Leeds goes out towards the right hand side, and Ayling over the halfway line holds the play up. And Stuart Dallas continues his run forward. He doesn't get the ball. It goes out to Click instead on the touchline. Good ball up towards the edge of the penalty area to Helder Costa. Can he find room for the shot? Yes, he can. But he can't get the accuracy in the shot, and it just drifts wide. But good work on the edge of the box there. First from Click to find Costa, and then Costa to work the space for the shot. Just needed slightly more accuracy.
Yeah, nice piece of play though, wasn't it? You know, he's come from the right hand side, and I think it's a lovely ball in to find Costa, and he's opening himself. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to whip it into that far corner. He's just not got enough whip on it, and again doesn't trouble Cameron Dawson in the Sheffield Wednesday goal. But a positive start by Leeds, I think, and especially in with the fact that Sheffield Wednesday have set up to, I think, come and nullify them in some capacity.
It's a good start from Leeds. Bright opening to the game. We're inside 8 minutes. It's 0-0. Leeds have had a couple of near things in terms of shots, and they're attacking again now as Click on the halfway line tries to lay the ball off to Costa. Costa gets it away from Bannon, can't get past the second challenge from Borna, and it goes back to Cameron Dawson. Interesting to see Dawson in goal for Sheffield Wednesday. Westwood having so often thwarted Leeds, as happened in the game at Hillsborough earlier this season, with fine saves, but Dawson's claimed the #1 spot as his own. The fact he wears 25 on his back probably tells something about that story. And the replacement keeper is Joe Wildsmith. So Sheffield Wednesday have reshuffled things in terms of their goalkeeping presence this season, and Dawson's the man who claims the custodian spot at the moment.
He was out in the wilderness at the start of the season, was Dawson.
As Murphy breaks forward for Sheffield Wednesday, holds the ball up, and Click and Harrison between them do a good job of getting the ball off Murphy there. And it's Stuart Dallas now on the far side. Ball is given away though, and Reach has it for Wednesday on the halfway line. He carries it forward. Sheffield Wednesday all in green. That's the change colours. Header away from Liam Cooper. Diving header away from Liam Cooper. Comes back to Reach again. Now Bannon through the middle, midway inside the Leeds half. Out to this near side, and Urogide from right back position. Back it goes into the midfield and Barry Bannon. And then Bannon switches towards his left, and it's Borna with a shot, and he gets a deflection off Luke Ayling, and the Wednesday fans down below us have their first chance and opportunity to raise their voices, because it comes off the head of Luke Ayling and goes behind for a Sheffield Wednesday corner.
First little bit of possession that they've had, isn't it? 9 minutes in, kept hold of the ball after nicking it off Leeds in the middle of the park, and Bourne is 30-35 yards out. It's a bit of a chance, but he's struck it well enough, and Luke Ayling's got in the way, and with the bonuses, they've got a corner on the left hand side.
So Leeds United have players to mark in the penalty area as Bannon delivers now, and it comes to an unmarked player on a run from the edge of the penalty area. It was by Massimo Luongo. Nobody saw that run, nobody picked up that run, and he had chance to pick a spot with a header. Well, he did pick his spot, and it was 15 yards wide of the right hand post, but I think Leeds would count themselves just a little bit fortunate there, wouldn't they?
Yeah, a little bit of a let off, wasn't it? You sat here and you analyse it, it's quite easy, but you would half expect the lad to maybe take a couple of yards backwards and maybe try and bring that down on his chest and have a strike on goal, rather than think he can score with a header from maybe 20 yards out, which is always going to be difficult.
But it was a very late run in, it wasn't picked up, so we'll keep an eye on that as a tactic potentially.
Yeah, he sort of like took a position on the edge of the D, didn't he, and then just drifted in a bit like Paul Scholes used to do with Manchester United, and on the volley.
Slightly different result on this occasion. Yeah, not something that you would rely on every time, as the ball comes off the shoulder of Patrick Bamford for a Sheffield Wednesday throw-in down below us in the Wednesday half, round about midway. Urugide will take it for them, looking for his options down the line. Lee provides one of them as he runs away from Urugide, and Guide gives it straight to Liam Cooper, comes back to the right back, and then Calvin Phillips does well to win the ball off Lee, and then gives it to Stuart Dallas, and Dallas helps the ball onto Click. He's just ahead of Click though. He gets the ball back off Luongo. Now Dallas picks up, and now Leeds can push players forward down the right hand side. Luke Ayling carrying the ball out wide. It goes to Helder Costa, level with the edge of the box. Now Click, and it's a back heel into the path of Costa for the chance to cross into the penalty area. He whips the ball in now. Urugide is underneath it, and he clears up towards the edge of the penalty area and out to the penalty area, and Adam Reach, and then it's won off Murphy by Calvin Phillips' outstretched leg. Pressure though is on Urugide on this near side from Jack Harrison. Ball up towards the edge of the box, and Bamford wins it back for Leeds. Now Harrison gives it back to Bamford, edge of the area, and then he tries a curling shot, and there's no power behind it at all, and it just rolls harmlessly into the hands of Cameron Dawson from a position of some potential danger there on the edge of the box.
It's a great opportunity, isn't it? I think Uruguide's chosen to play inside, and Harrison and Bamford pick the pocket of the Sheffield Wednesday back four, and with Bamford sort of like breaking down onto the edge of the penalty area, you're expecting him to do a little bit better with that opportunity. And he's, as we said, and as you've said, Bryn, he's gone for the curl into the far corner, and he scuffed it and pulled it, and it's gone straight down the keeper's throat. And it's a bit really tame effort, wasn't it, to end with, but a decent half chance for me, best chance in the game so far.
And Leeds United, if there's been a criticism, maybe at times it's like at Arsenal, where you dominate a game but don't take chances. So Leeds have already had 3 shots on target, well, 2 on target, 1 just wide. They don't want to be in that situation again of giving the opposition a chance by not taking those opportunities created. They come again down the right hand side. Costa's trying to work the ball off Morgan Fox. Fox over the halfway line with a clearance straight onto the chest of Ben White, and Ben White goes back towards his own penalty area and Liam Cooper as Leeds begin to dominate, at least in terms of possession. And we've had 13 minutes and the scoreboard reads Leeds United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Ben White to Dallas, out to Costa on the tight to the touchline. Back it comes into the Leeds half, and Ben White again. And White switches, the long diagonal goes from right to left this time. Should be onto the head of Urugide, it is, but he can't keep the ball in play. Leeds have a throw in. Just wonder whether the young fullback may be targeted in terms of the pressure that's applied. Leeds come down this side again. Dallas, sliding challenge from Bannon. Ball spins off his foot and goes behind for a Leeds corner kick.
I think he's going to have a busy afternoon, isn't he, Urugide? Jack Harrison's having a fantastic season, and what an incredible player he is. So yeah, he's going to have his hands full today.
So Leeds corner kick on this near side now. Calvin Phillips is the man to take it. Again, lots of jostling in the penalty area. The crowd runs towards the ball. Near post, Cooper's header goes up in the air. It's cleared away by Borna, and it comes out as far as Click, and then into the centre circle, and Dallas all the way back to Kiko Casilla. So it goes from one penalty area to another, not in a speedy counter-attack this time, but in Leeds just beginning all over again, patiently building from their own penalty area. Click in his own half, and now to Dallas, and back it goes to Ben White, and then White square short to Liam Cooper, and back it goes to White again. Sheffield Wednesday have 5 victories on their travels in the league and 6 defeats so far this season. They were in the playoff picture and they slipped out of it over the Christmas period with 3 consecutive defeats. They're only a couple of points off now, 12 points behind Leeds in such a congested area of the table in the Championship, and so they know that something from this game would be big points for them this afternoon. Leeds have the chance to extend the gap to one of those who may yet prove to be a rival, Brentford, having set off and narrowed the gap a little earlier on already today by beating QPR, and it's now Reach attacking for Wednesday down the left-hand side. Luongo's in the penalty area. If he can find him, well, he can just. But I think Liam Cooper's intervention there with a slight touch took the ball away from Murphy rather on this right-hand side. And when Murphy arrived to meet it, wasn't quite where he was expecting it, and it went behind off Murphy's foot, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, Cooper's done great there, hasn't he? Sheffield Wednesday sort of like being really patient, letting Leeds have the ball, and then as soon as he've won it back, they're attacking down the left-hand side with Adam Reach, and Murphy's all on his own, free in the middle of the box, and Cooper's just great to move his feet and just get a little bit of what the class as an eyebrows on it, and it just puts Murphy off, and he's sort of like half volley goes wide. But you can see how they're setting themselves up, can't you, Sheffield Wednesday? You can see that they're going to allow us to have lots of the football, and when they're going to break with pace and try and get at us.
I know Regidi has just given a bit back to Jack Harris on this near side, out-muscled the Leeds player, and in doing that and giving Jack Harrison a nudge, the ball came off Harrison and out for a Sheffield Wednesday throw-in, which Regidi takes now. Towards the byline it goes. Lee has possession for them, down by the corner flag. Held up by Stuart Dallas. It's played in towards the edge of the box anyway, cleared away by Click, and now Calvin Phillips with a chance to deliver long over the top. He'll give Patrick Bamford a bit of a sight of the long ball there, but it's too far ahead of Bamford, and Dawson comes out the box under no pressure to win it. Bannon is under a bit of pressure. Now Click forces him to give the ball back towards the edge of the box, and then more pressure from Helder Costa on Borna, and Sheffield Wednesday almost pay the price there for not moving the ball quickly enough, with Leeds players bearing down on them. They end up rather fortuitously with a throw-in in their own half on the left-hand side. Down the line it's won by Ayling. On it goes to the head of Bamford, back to Ayling on the chest, and then he loops it up in the air, and then he chests it down, and then he gets pushed to the ground, and then Leeds United inevitably get the free kick.
A little bit of a boxing match at the moment, isn't it? You know, sparring each other. I think Leeds have had the best of the play. Sort of first 16-17 minutes, a couple of decent chances, but it's never really got going as a Yorkshire derby, I don't think.
These two teams met at Hillsborough on the 26th of October, and it ended in a 0-0 draw. And Leeds created chances, and Leeds saw Sheffield Wednesday create chances. Can Leeds do that now with Phillips curling the ball in? Harrison, oh my word, right in front of goal. He met the free kick perfectly. Well, not quite perfectly enough, because he diverted his shot just past the post. In a similar situation last season, he diverted it just inside the post. Chance goes begging.
It's an absolutely gilt-edged chance, isn't it? Fabulous delivery from Calvin Phillips from that right-hand side. Puts his foot round it, curls it in, and Harrison's got away from Erigidi, the right back, and he's got a volley from. He's literally on the 6-yard box. He's on the 6-yard line, and he manages to not get a decent surface on it, and it skews past the near post, and I mean that goes down as an unbelievable chance for Leeds, really.
Can Cameron Dawson be pressurised into making a mistake here? You'll hear from the crowd reaction that yes, he can. Patrick Bamford was bearing down on him as the ball came back into him in an area he didn't really want it. Leeds get a throw in as a result. Deep inside the Sheffield Wednesday half. On this near side, Barry Douglas to take it for Leeds. Lots of movement in front of Douglas. Dallas, Click and Harrison all running around in little circles, and it might go over the top of Origidi to Harrison. It does, but it bounces once and then it bounces behind, and it will be a goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday.
You see what he's trying, can't you? You know, a lot of movement. Sheffield Wednesday keeping touch tight, and he's just trying to throw it high over the head of Erigidi, and it's bounced out for a goal kick. But going back to that chance, they're the opportunities you've got to stick in the back of the net, aren't they? You know, you count that one, you count Bamford when he's bearing down on the edge of the 18-yard box. You know, that's a decent half chance. You stick one of those in, and all of a sudden the game's turned on its head, isn't it? You know, it's a totally different match.
So at the moment, Leeds are doing the bit we've seen before, dominating possession, creating chances, using set pieces, earning set pieces. And Sheffield Wednesday have had a couple of moments to remind Leeds that this is a contest. There's a late challenge on Stuart Dallas on the halfway line, right down below us as we watch from over the halfway line under the roof of the West Stand here at Ellen Road. Incredibly mild winter's day today. It's been pretty windy throughout the course of the morning here in West Yorkshire, but the winds seem to have dropped now. Paper's not flying around on the pitch. That's the indication of that. Corner flags moving a little bit, but fairly limp. And Leeds United have possession inside their own half. Yeah,
it was a little bit of a concern before the game, that, wasn't it? You know, looking at the forecast, 50-mile-an-hour winds, and you're just hoping it's not going to spoil the game, aren't you? You know, like we said, a Yorkshire derby, and it's going to be cut and thrust, and but like you say, it looks like it's died down a little bit.
As the ball goes all the way through to Cameron Dawson from midway inside the Leeds half. It was attempted to be played into the path of Stuart Dallas, but it was too long for Dallas. Maybe it did catch a bit of the breeze. And Urhoghide on this near side, bit of turf scuffs up as he clears the ball forward. Then Iorfa's underneath it, and then it's up to the halfway line and Dallas to Harrison. But Urhoghide gets in there before Jack Harrison. Good contest now on this near side between those two players.
Big strong lad, isn't he?
Yeah,
Urhoghide, I've seen him in a few under 23 games this year. Fair play to the lad. You know, he's big, tall, strong lad, got pace, likes to tackle. So yeah, he's going to have his hands full. He's Jack Harrison today.
As Leeds win the ball off Winnell, who appeals for a free kick, nothing doing. And Luke Ayling has it over on the far side of the centre circle. Ball is too far ahead of Stuart Dallas there, though, so possession is conceded quite easily. And now Winnell has it back in the centre circle, tries to play the ball over the top for Murphy. Murphy brings it out towards this near side touch line in an advanced position for Sheffield Wednesday. Good roll away from the first challenge of Douglas, but the second one from Phillips is successful. And then it comes, does it go out of play? No, it doesn't come out of play on this near side. Iorfa kept going and kept the ball in play. And Sheffield Wednesday moved it all the way across the other side of the park now, and they have it over there with Adam Reach pushing forward for them over on the far touchline. Reach is held up by the challenge from Stuart Dallas, and in doing that nudges the ball into touch. Leeds throw in, taken to Ayling. Ayling under pressure into the penalty area. Good work between White and Ayling, just. As Ayling had to stretch to make the return pass of the 1-2 there, but he did it. And now Harrison knocks it back into the path of Douglas. Douglas over the top for Harrison. Can he keep it in play? He can. Can he now make a run forward? Yes, he can. Plays a great ball into Click, who's just signalled offside as Bamford comes in and scores the headed goal. It won't count. The flag was already raised. Lovely movement from Leeds United, but just offside.
Yeah, what a shame. Great football by Jack Harrison there. Ball, not a great ball into him, fired into him by Cooper, and he's chopped it back for Douglas, and then he's made the run, hasn't he? And he's left Urhoghide for dead. Not a great ball again by Douglas, but yeah, real shame. Real shame. One of them's just drifted offside, and when it doesn't matter, Bamford sticks it in the back of the net.
Oh well, let's hope he's got his eye in there, Patrick Bamford, because he directed the header beautifully beyond the goalkeeper, but the flag had already been raised a couple of seconds at that point, and Dawson takes the resultant free kick from outside of his penalty area. Winnell goes down, appeals for a free kick again, nothing doing. Bannon flies into a challenge in midfield. May not be the last time we say that this afternoon, and it goes all the way back to Cameron Dawson, with Leeds putting a bit of pressure now on the Wednesday players in possession, as Iorfa is caught out by Jack Harrison, who gets a foot to the ball, can't quite direct it to Patrick Bamford, who is waiting, though it goes through to Cameron Dawson. But the Leeds fans react positively to that pressure on the man in possession.
They just look a little bit shaky at the back, don't they? And fair play to Leeds. That's not wholly through their sort of like inability to play football from the back. I think it's a big part of Leeds flying in and putting the press on and putting them under pressure and not allowing them time to get it down and play.
Well, you saw the Arsenal defenders in abject panic on Monday evening, didn't you? At least in the first 45 minutes. Hugely expensive, experienced players who looked like they didn't want to be out on the park with the pressure that Leeds were putting on them. Passes were going all over the place. Well, Leeds could maybe do the same to Wednesday here. Although at the moment, it's Leeds who are having to defend because Sheffield Wednesday have a throw-in over on the far touchline.
Give good players time and space, and everybody, they can all play, you know. And the difficult part is these, when you cut down that time, you cut down the space that they have to play in, the absolute creme de la creme can still play.
Barry Bannon under pressure there from Click, plays the ball all the way back from the halfway line to his goalkeeper. Leeds get the ball back on the halfway line. Dallas lets it run for Douglas. Douglas holds the ball up. Now he needs support. He gets it from Calvin Phillips, and Phillips back into his own half to Liam Cooper. Pace of the game is really starting to increase now. Ben White out towards the far side and Luke Ayling. Luke Ayling back in field to Liam Cooper. 25 minutes gone. Leeds United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0 on LUTV. Matchday Live brought to you by Deliveroo Food Freedom. Ben White just outside the centre circle. Plays the ball over the top. Costa's broken off the last defender, but it's that last defender, Borna, who wins the header. And he may be pushed back towards his own goalkeeper. Iorfa under pressure. Goes back to Dawson. And Bamford running around there. Almost cuts off the goalkeeping options. But Wednesday have managed to smuggle the ball away to the halfway line. But it's picked up again by men in white. Ben White in this instance. Calvin Phillips, back it goes to Liam Cooper. Cooper looking to play the ball out to Douglas near side. Douglas, back it goes to Liam Cooper. Of the two teams over the last 6 games, Wednesday actually have the better record despite Leeds sitting on top of the table. Just 1 win in 6 for Leeds. Ben White, forward it goes. Now it comes out towards, good ball out towards Harrison. First touch from Harrison, and now second touch, third touch up towards the edge of the penalty area. Makes room for the space. Low drive! Dawson gets down smartly and palms the ball behind for a Leeds corner kick. Again, Leeds come close.
Outstanding football. All started off by Ben White. They put the press on. Luongo goes to close him down. He drops his shoulder and strolls past him and plays the ball out wide. Great footwork by Harrison and Bamford, and a good strike. To be fair, it's sneaking in the bottom corner, but Dawson gets his hand down. Corner.
Calvin Phillips, in it goes towards the near post and heads up and out of the penalty area. And Click picks it up for Leeds and goes back to Dallas in the centre circle. And then into the channel for Luke Ayling. And then back towards the edge of the centre circle for Liam Cooper. And then switch towards this near side and Click. The possession count building dramatically in Leeds' favour at the moment. Now Click has the ball at his feet up towards the edge of the area. It's almost played back into the path of Click by Dallas, and then Phillips wins it back, and with Douglas in close proximity, Leeds get it back to Ayling over on the far side. Ayling into the, well, he tried to play a ball inside the two, between the two defenders over on the far side to Helder Costa, but it was red, and it's played forward quickly, and Leeds have to suddenly switch on at the other end as Winnall has the ball. He's forced away by Cooper, does a really good job of keeping tight to Sam Winnall. It goes all the way back to the touchline, almost from the edge of the penalty area, with Liam Cooper in pursuit the whole way. And Wednesday start again from that position. Down the far side touchline it goes. Luongo has possession for them. He's closely marked by White, and then it's given away to White from reach, and then the ball goes over the touchline and Leeds end up with a throw-in. That's excellent defending.
They look really comfortable, don't they? You don't want to speak too soon, but yeah, Sheffield Wednesday have the ball. You know, we look like we can smother most things what they've got, and in possession we're moving the ball well, giving angles, giving shape. Fantastic, great football to watch.
Bamford over on the far side touchline with a player tight to his back, and he battles away and he wins a free kick because there's a shove in the back by Julian Borna, and as a result Leeds midway inside their own half, just in from the far side touchline, front of the east stand, have a free kick which is taken quickly and short, and Ayling gets the ball back off Ben White and gives it back to Ben White, and Ben White to the edge of the penalty area to Liam Cooper, and then Cooper pushes the ball a little further forward to Calvin Phillips, who goes wide right side to Ben White, and then White can walk the ball almost up towards the halfway line before he switches the play out towards Harrison near side, who does such a good job of keeping difficult passes in play, and he's done it again there. It wasn't exactly where he wanted it, but he worked hard to make sure it didn't go out and make Ben White look a bit of a fool. And then White pushes the ball forward, looking for Costa on the far side, but it'll run out of play, and it's a Sheffield Wednesday throw-in.
It's not often we say that, is it? But a loose pass by Ben White. I think he's been outstanding this season so far. Put numerous numbers on these on his amount, you know. No, definitely 2 or 3 of the very top Premier League clubs already watching him and keeping an eye on him. And with his performances this year, Bryn, I think he's been outstanding.
He has indeed. There's more work for him to do, but he will be at Leeds for the duration of the season. We've seen 1 or 2 others come and go. Clarkin and Kettier back to their host clubs. But Ben White has made himself an absolute institution here already. Ball out towards this near side from Cooper. Now Harrison nods it in for Dallas to chase at least. Lee is with him all the way, and Kieran Lee gets the first touch into touch on this near side Leeds throw-in. Leeds still well advanced in the Sheffield Wednesday half before they come back to the halfway line and Liam Cooper. And Cooper switches the play into the centre circle to Ben White. And Ben White thinks about going out towards the right, comes back to the left of the centre circle to Cooper. And now Cooper to Dallas. Leeds really are probing patiently here at the moment. Calvin Phillips lay off to Barry Douglas. Douglas sees Click make a run, but he goes square instead to Phillips. Now Ayling sets off on a run, and Costa waits patiently out on the far side touchline as it comes to this near side again, and Barry Douglas, and then back into the midfield and Phillips. I suppose you would say that Sheffield Wednesday are working hard to close down the gaps at the moment. Leeds trying to just work out where they might be, where they are, and then Click on that basis gets his pass wrong, and it goes out for a Sheffield Wednesday throw in.
Yeah, as we said before the start of the game, didn't we, that, you know, this 4-3-3, they're just going to drop in there. I think when Leeds have got the ball, they're making it more of a 4-5-1. And they'll push on when Casillas got the ball, or we've got the ball in our final third. That's when they seem to push the 2 wide men on and just try and stop us playing out. But the centre halves of Leeds are so comfortable on the ball, Ben White and Cooper, that it doesn't really have a negative effect on us.
As Cooper delivering a fine ball out towards his near side, and Barry Douglas. Douglas calls for help, doesn't really get it. Well, he doesn't deliver the pass that finds it anyway. Luongo picks it up in the midfield for Sheffield Wednesday. Murphy under pressure from Douglas and Harrison. Now it's the right back who's under pressure from both the same 2, and then ultimately Urhoghide comes away with the ball and skips past a couple of challenges and falls over under the challenge of Calvin Phillips, who gets no more than a brush on Urhoghide, but enough to make him stumble and fall. And Sheffield Wednesday get a free kick just inside the Leeds half.
Just a little bit scrappy, wasn't it? But you'd have expected a few more of those challenges, I think. You know, how long have we gone? 31 minutes. There's not really been a tackle of any description so far.
No, nobody's flown in on anything. Either side had a yellow card yet, or even really a talking to, as Bannon delivers the free kick up towards the edge of the penalty area. Heads go up on the edge of the box. Warner there, the central defender, and it was the shot of a central defender when it came in ultimately. Because as a shot it made a good clearance.
Absolutely, yes. We wear that badge, don't we? With pride.
Head it, kick it.
Yes, yeah. Do what you're good at, son.
So Leeds have a goal kick, as the applause that you'll hear in the background is for the subs emerging from the dugout for the first time. Strong looking bench for Leeds this afternoon. They've got Hernandez down there. They've got Shackleton back, good to see, and then Alioski's there, Berardi's there as well. So with players coming back, and maybe 1 or 2 more to join the club in the next couple of days, certainly that's the prediction. Leeds looking to strengthen in this second half of the season. Maybe the one area you would think they would have a real long look at would be that position of striker, because at the moment what you would term an out and out forward, Patrick Bamford's it. Tyler Roberts would be another option, a couple of guys in the under 23s maybe, but I think that's the area, one of the priority areas at the moment. Much talk of potential replacements from that position, but Sheffield Wednesday in the meantime, with a couple of guys themselves in Rhodes and Nuhiu on the bench this afternoon, have a free kick which is going to be delivered deep into the Leeds penalty area. Too deep as it turns out, because it's easy for Kiko Casilla. First real catch, cross that he's had to catch, the Leeds keeper. He's under a bit of pressure from Winnell, so with a bit of fancy footwork, he spins away from him and rolls the ball short to Liam Cooper. Cooper may go back to Kiko Casilla. No, he goes square instead to Ben White. 34 minutes gone here at Ellen Road. Leeds United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Leeds creating the better chances thus far, the best of the lot, to Jack Harrison right in front of goal, just got it, put it wide. Liam Cooper carrying the ball forward and over the halfway line for Leeds. Then he goes with the long ball again, looking for the run of Costa over on the far side. It's cut out before it gets to Helder Costa. It's nodded back from reach into the path of Luongo, and then it goes out of play before it gets to Luongo on that far side, and Leeds have a throw in.
It's a pattern of play that they do a lot of, isn't it? They keep the ball at the back, and then one of the left or the right sided centre halves come forward and they hit that big diagonal to the opposite side, and it seems to work well for them. It really does.
Saw in the game at West Brom where Jack Harrison got a lot of space in the second half, in particular in behind the fullback for that sort of ball. At the moment, Sheffield Wednesday have stayed tight, but they have stayed too tight on this occasion, because there's a challenge on the back of Luke Ayling that wins Leeds United a free kick. Ayling picks himself up and limps away from that challenge, and it's not a bad position for this one for Calvin Phillips. It's just in from the far side touchline. You'd say it was at a midpoint in the Sheffield Wednesday half, and as a consequence Leeds have pushed plenty up, and Wednesday have pretty much all of their outfield players lined up just outside their own penalty area. Calvin Phillips to give the ball now. Right foot ball in from Phillips towards a penalty spot. Doesn't come for Ben White. It breaks out towards Helder Costa on this near side outside now of the penalty area. Helder Costa with the ball at his feet. Needs support maybe. Wriggles through a gap. Plays Harrison in on the byline. He cuts the ball back. I think he was looking for Click, but it was just away from Click. And it's cleared out the box by Adam Reach. So the attacking midfielder in the defensive role on that occasion. And as a result, it goes all the way back to the edge of that Leeds penalty area. Barry Bannon pressurising Stuart Dallas. Leeds come away with Douglas in possession on this near side now. Start to look towards the half-time interval. We're inside the final 10 minutes of this first half. Leeds still looking for an opening goal here. It was tight between these two, as we've already mentioned, last season in April. Just a one Jack Harrison goal, second half goal that won the game. We've already seen a 0-0 draw between these two at Hillsborough this season. Indications at the moment are that it might be similarly tight this afternoon. Patience may be a virtue. Douglas, great ball, well, almost a great ball for Patrick Bamford. It just spins off the surface and it just runs away as a result from Patrick Bamford into the hands of Cameron Dawson.
Great run by Bamford as well. Casilla pinging it out to Douglas. One touch, opens himself up, and you see Patrick Bamford's like run across the line, which is exactly what you teach them to do, and he's just diving in, just a little bit overhit, isn't it? You know, he's clean through if he gets on the end of that.
Just a sign that maybe there's some space beginning to appear defensively with Sheffield Wednesday, as Bamford found a lot of it there with an intelligent run, as John Newsom says. And Leeds will start again with the ball out from the back from Casilla to White, and then White to Cooper, and then Cooper back to White again, and then White goes to the right hand side, and Calvin Phillips, and Phillips down the line looking for the run of Costa. Costa may ultimately win it off a Wednesday player. He does, and he's no, there's an offside against Bamford there, so Bamford must have come back from an offside position to join in the play there. Ref's assistant far side put the yellow flag up to indicate it, and Patrick Bamford argues it.
Remonstrating with him, wasn't he? Don't really see that much reaction in Guile. Yeah, looking at the replay, just looked like he was a yard maybe offside. So yeah, unfortunate really. You see Sheffield Wednesday had put the press on and down this right hand side, and Cooper turning gone the other way, and wasn't a great ball by Phillips, but he made the best of it, and just a shame.
Ball off the head of Luongo. It's in the Leeds half. Barry Bannon nods it back to the Australian, and then Luke Ayling slides in well. Now Costa does really well, far side. Breaks past one challenge, knocks the ball onto Bamford, who's tight to the touchline far side. Just a nice opportunity for a central defender to come in and slide in there. And that's what Iorfa did, out for a throw in, and it's cleared away then further forward by Luongo, and again goes out for another throw into Leeds United, and that's over on the far side touchline. So Sheffield Wednesday defending more and more deeply at this stage of the game, and Leeds just trying to find the way through. Ayling with a throw in from the halfway line, far side in front of the east stand. Leeds kicking towards the Kop end in the first half. Jack Harrison scored at the other end in the second half of the game here last season. Just saying. Ball goes back to Ben White. Is this a library, the Sheffield Wednesday fans ask rather cheekily, as the ball comes out from Casilla to Cooper. It's that sort of game at the moment. Leeds fans are expectant but just waiting for their side to create that moment of drama and danger. Trying to do that now with Cooper, ball over the top, Bamford, and the central defender falls over, and the referee blows there. I'd love to see that one again, because Patrick Bamford ran across the back of the Sheffield Wednesday central defender. I think he felt my reading was he felt the contact, so he fell to the ground because it was going over his head. But we maybe will see better with a replay.
I think he's just lent into him a little bit, hasn't he?
That's not a foul, is it?
It's a hard one, isn't it? It's a harsh one, I think. If it's the other way around, does he give it? Very seldom. But I think in this day and age, players go down at the slightest touch, and the referee's whistle goes to his mouth, doesn't it? And I'm not saying it's right, but
it's what it is.
Yeah, you can see why they are given.
So a resultant free kick is taken and played over the halfway line. Calvin Phillips against Luongo. Phillips gets the touch. And now Harrison into a bit of space for Click. Again, Iorfa's had to read that one and get across swiftly from a central defensive position to a full-back position. So he's having to get through a bit of work there, the Sheffield central defender, Dominic Iorfa. Leeds come again down this near side touchline. Click with a fancy flick that should be easy for Bannon to clear. It is. Comes down, back down this near side touchline. Douglas wins the header. Most of the second balls are falling Leeds' way just now. But then there's a free kick given frustratingly for a foul by Harrison on Lee. And again, you wouldn't say there was an awful lot in that either.
Well, Dallas has got his arms in the air, hasn't he? Showing, his intent that I'm trying to win the ball, but I'm not going to use my hands, and he still give a free kick.
Cooper wins the header back, but Luongo plays the ball out to Winnall just outside the penalty area for Sheffield Wednesday. He tries a shot. Leeds get players in front of him to block it, and it comes back out for Luongo. There was a glimpse of something for the away team there, and they try and create something again now with the ball over on the far side, down by the corner flag. Luongo pursued by Phillips. Still those two involved, and it's played inside the gap, and it's played into the penalty area, and Leeds get bodies back in there. Ben White does a fabulous job on Winnall on the edge of the 6-yard box to keep him away from the ball, and Leeds complete the clearance, and Leeds get a free kick on the halfway line.
6 and 2 threes again there, wasn't it? Decent bit of play by Sheffield Wednesday though, and it all comes from just a long free kick where Leeds win the header, but it's not a great defensive header. It comes down and drops into the pack, and they spread it out wide to the left hand side, and I think it was Cooper who got the final challenge on, but it's a great block just on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Leeds lose the ball in the Wednesday half, and Winnall lays it off down the far side for Adam Reach to chase. First time ball, Kiko Casilla spots that one early and gets off his goal line to catch round about the penalty spot, and then he wants to throw it out quickly, but the option isn't there. And just home fans getting slightly frustrated at the moment. Leeds fans want to see that first goal just to feel a little bit of the relief maybe, as Douglas has it on this near side. Still time in this first half, but not a lot of time. We're inside the final 3 minutes of the first period. Leeds United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Matchday live on LUTV, brought to you by Deliveroo Food Freedom. Ben White carries the ball forward for Leeds over on the far side. Side football down towards Click. Now Click lays it off for Costa. Costa carries it forward for Leeds. Takes on Barry Bannon. Still going, Helder Costa. Holds the ball up by the far side touchline. Then into Click. Click onside. Goes out towards the corner flag. Holds the ball and needs support. Matthias Click gives it inside to Ayling. Runs off Ayling. Ayling holds the ball up on the edge of the penalty area. Gets it just about via a deflection to Calvin Phillips. Gets it back. Calvin Phillips off Luke Ayling. Then Ayling stabs the ball inside the defenders, and it's not accurate. And Sheffield Wednesday have it with Winnall out to Reach on the far side touchline and over the halfway line, and then back into their own half and Kieran Lee, and Lee turns back towards his own goal, and he picks a pass out to Borna, and then Borna square to Iorfa, and Iorfa will move the ball forward now, stretches his long legs. Harrison has to move across and almost plays a ball into the path of Kieran Lee, but it was behind Lee, and Ayling's there for Leeds to tidy up, and then it's out to this near side, and Barry Douglas, who controls really well. Ball in field to Calvin Phillips, back to the right back position, and Liam Cooper, and then Cooper under a bit of pressure. 3 Wednesday players push forward, and so he goes to Ben White, and then White goes wide to Ayling, and then Ayling comes back in field to Liam Cooper, and again you can hear it from the Leeds fans, just a little bit of anxiety. They want to see Leeds get forward, but it's not the way Leeds do things. Harrison on this near side under pressure has the ball to Douglas. Douglas's attempted pass forward breaks off Murphy, comes back for Liam Cooper, and then one back and given out to Ben White, and we've got a minute of the first half left to play. Don't think there'll be much to be added on, if anything. Ball over the top. Now then, Bamford's got in, and then Bamford's in the penalty area, and he shoots goalwards. And I think, did the goalkeeper get a deflection on that? Yes, he did, and he knocked it behind, and Leeds United almost come up with the opening goal in the final few seconds of the first half through Patrick Bamford. Great ball by Ben White, isn't it? You know, Patrick's sort of like spun inside and turned his man, and it's a lovely ball by Ben White. And has he got real conviction that he's going to score there? I don't know if he has. He's hit the target, he's done what I suppose he's asked of him, but Dawson quite easily prods it wide. In it comes towards the box now, and the goalkeeper through the crowd of players emerges, and his long purple arms clutch onto the ball and bring the ball back into his body. But it was Patrick Bamford who kind of, I don't know whether he didn't quite strike the ball cleanly, but the backspin almost beat the goalkeeper there, who's harangued for taking his time over the clearance now. Header into the path of Reach is won by Ayling, and Ayling can look forward maybe for Leeds again, where he stops because Reach came back at him just outside the penalty area. Was one added minute. I'm not surprised by that. And the game has kept moving, and Leeds United are moving the ball from left to right again now with Ben White. Maybe is there one more opportunity in the final few seconds of this first period for Leeds? They do tend to finish halves strongly. Can they do that again now? They have only a few seconds left to do that, but Harrison has possession now on this left-hand side. Harrison into the Douglas in the penalty area, comes to the penalty spot. Helder Costa spins on the ball, gets his foot underneath the ball, and it lifts over the crossbar, some way over the crossbar. So Leeds do create another chance in the final few seconds of the first half, and again it's missed. Again, it's a great piece of play, isn't it? It all starts again from the centre halves. Cooper, it's a beautiful ping with a bit of fade on it out to Harrison. Douglas overlaps, cuts it back. You've got to hit the target, haven't you? You know, Helder Costa's got to concentrate, hit the target, make the keeper work, and instead it goes high and wide and mighty. And, you know, are we going to repeat ourselves time and time again? We constantly make chances. We've had 3, 4, 5 decent chances this half, haven't we? And here we go, the whistle goes and it's 0-0. Yeah, and just a frustrated boot to the ball away from Matthias Klick when it came back to him after the whistle had gone there. I think that's the frustration manifesting itself, isn't it? Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, as a team, and it's not aimed at an individual. You're not cross at that player for missing the chance or that player for missing the other chance. You're just annoyed with yourselves as a collective unit that you know you should have done better. You know you should be winning the game, and it's hard, it's difficult to go ahead in front of the game and score goals, and we know that. And you know, if it's a boxing match, we're points in front, aren't we? Yeah, Leeds United, as they have done so often this season, pretty much dominate the first half, certainly in terms of possession, certainly in terms of chances created. But as the two teams depart down the tunnel, the scoreboard reads Leeds United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
One two. Hello.
Welcome back to LUTV, where we are live here at Ellen Road, and it is 0-0 at half-time. I'm joined, as always, by ex-Leeds United player Ben Parker. We'll have a look at the highlights from the first half very shortly, but Ben, in brief, your overview on that first 45 minutes. I
think we've been the better team. I think we've got to areas, and it's just been that final ball, the killer instinct that we have lacked. But no, I think there's seen a few fans just getting a bit like moany a little bit. Obviously, you get that from off the back of a performance at Arsenal. You think, let's go out and do it again, but it don't work like that. You got to work your way into a game, especially a Yorkshire derby. And I think that's what we did do. We built into the performance over the 45 minutes. There's an offside call where Patrick Bamford scored. We've got a freeze frame for that coming up. It's very, very tight. But now all the chances we created, like I said, we were the better team. Just didn't work the keeper enough. didn't get enough attempts on target. That'd be the disappointing thing. But no, like I said, I think we're built into half better, and we've been the better team in the 45 minutes.
We certainly have, but I can understand fans being a bit moany to a certain degree, because you kind of hope that even within the first 10 minutes they're going to go all guns blazing.
Yeah, and like I said, sometimes you architect your own downfall by putting such a good performance in. I expected Patrick there just to chop back onto his left.
Yeah.
We know he favours that foot of his, and just put his laces through the ball, but went to go over his right foot, and a bit of a tame effort. But what we started to do were winning the ball high up the pitch, winning the second balls, and as soon as we do that on the turnovers, on the transitions, that's when we're starting to hurt Sheffield Wednesday. And but we mentioned Barry Bannon. There's his quality, can go in behind, and very, very good touch that by Liam Cooper. Not a lot of people notice that, but very subtle little flick, and just put Jacob Murphy off at the back stick, where you expected probably just a better touch, a better finish, but good defending from Liam Cooper.
Yeah.
And I have to say the back four played really well. Thought Barry Douglas has done well. He's looked cool and calm in possession, which you expect him to do, but also his defensive duties. But this is a massive chance. Jack Harrison, 6 yards out, middle of the goal. You could see how disappointed with himself, because what a fantastic delivery this is from Calvin Phillips. He's got his run on the marker, and you're just saying, hit the target, and you score. It's almost like he's probably tried to be too precise, trying to find the right in the bottom corner, whereas those positions, like I say, hit the target 9 times out of 10, you find him back of the net. So, but this would have been goal of the season, arguably. The build-up play, what a touch from Jack Harrison. And we mentioned about the offside. It's ever so tight. Like just a little frame back from that. Obviously, when he's just released the ball, it's even tighter. But obviously, gone on. Great header from Patrick Bamford, by the way. And unfortunately, got rolled out for offside. And like I said, arguably him goal this season. The build-up. What a touch this is from Harrison, by the way. And this was good from Click. He probably didn't do it enough. Probably making those third-man runs. And we know what it's capable of doing, but no, like I said, the longer the half went on, we grew into it. We've been more assured. Sheffield Wednesday were camping more into their own half, and that pass has been on quite a number of times. The diagonal pass out to Harrison, linking up well. Very unlucky with his finish there. Good save from the keeper, Dorsal. Behind, can see there. No communication. This one just kind of brushes the keeper's arm. Got kind of lucky, hit outside of the post. But I just think from our point of view, keep doing the same things. Don't have to change anything too much.
Well, apart from scoring goals.
Apart from scoring goals, because I think in terms of the performance, we're building into it nicely. Like I say, we're the dominant team. Keep doing the same things, and the hope for the goal should come.
It would have been nice to go into half-time 1-0 up there, wouldn't it? It just gives you that cushion of reassurance.
It certainly does. Us watching it gives you, can relax, enjoy the half a little bit more. But no, there's still plenty in this game. Absolutely.
Right then, let's take a look at the half-time scores in the Championship. Let's have a look at these. Full-time, obviously, Brentford beat QPR 3-1. Barnsley 1-0 up against Huddersfield. Blackburn and Preston currently drawing 1-1. St Charlton, West Brom, Fulham beating Hull 1-0. Birmingham and City currently 1-0 up against Luton. Middlesbrough beating Derby 1-0. And it's a 0-0 draw at half-time in the other fixtures. Let's take a look then at the Premier League half-time results. Full-time, Crystal Palace, Arsenal 1-1. Chelsea currently beating Burnley 2-0. Everton beating Brighton 1-0. Leicester and Southampton drawing at half-time 1-1. Manchester United 1-0 up against Norwich. And Wolves and Newcastle drawing 1-1 at half-time. Right then, let's take a look as well at the match stats so far from the first half. We'll take a look at that. So 69% possession to Leeds United. Shots on target 4. Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Yep, and like I said, it shows like we have been the better team. We mentioned the tactical battle from Sheffield Wednesday point of view. They've just gone one striker up in Winnell, 2 wide men in reach, and Jacob Murphy. And what they've been trying to do is sit in deep, try and turn over the ball, and then use Barry Bannon, like we mentioned, his quarterback kind of skills by going a bit long and going in behind us.
How effective has that been for them in the first 45 minutes?
Not very. we've been the better team. We've dictated the play and the tempo. But there's always that kind of worrying back of your mind where they have got the quality, have got the pace up front, where they can go spring a counter attack. So yeah, it's great. We're on top. We're dictating the territory. But like I say, always have that kind of danger in the back of your mind. Like it always takes one pass, one bit of movement, and then in on goal. So, but I said defensively, I think we've been excellent so far.
Absolutely. Can you see Gary Monk changing anything for the second half?
Not really, because they'll be happy 0-0 at half time. They'll be delighted with that, and they'll be wanting this game to stay 0-0 for as long as possible, and hopefully from their point of view they'll try and nick a goal towards the end. But no, we're in the ascendancy. It's all about us. I said I don't think we need to change too much. Keep playing the way we're doing. We've got likes of Pablo Hernandez if needs be. If it's still 0-0 after 60, 70 minutes, can bring him on. He can change any game of football. So it's always good to have those type of players. But I firmly believe keep playing as we are. Sheffield Wednesday, I think they will tire. We see a lot of teams against us that do tire the longer the game goes on, because we're relentless with our energy and our fitness levels. So keep doing the same things, and hopefully that'll bring a goal or two.
You mentioned Barry Bannon pre-match a few times in that midfield battle with Calvin, but are there any other threats from Sheffield Wednesday that you've seen in the first half?
Big ones, Adam Reach. A lot of their goals have come from wide areas, a lot of crosses coming into the box, but predominantly I've been playing with two strikers. So today only one striker, less bodies in the box. But we saw that clip there with Barry Bannon playing the ball down the side for Adam Reach, put a great cross in, but like I said, great touch from Liam Cooper. So that's the worry. They have got good players, so you've got to be wary of that. But like I say, we've been nullifying them. And expected the battle between Barry Bannon and Calvin Phillips, that kind of materialised. They kind of kept away from each other. But I thought Calvin's played had an
Why
excellent.
is that?
I just think the way they've set up a little bit more. It's more Kieran Lee. He's gone closer to Calvin. Kieran Lee's an old type kind of midfielder, a lot of energy running around. He's probably not the greatest on the ball, but what he is, he likes to get around people, and so he's had the job to get close to Calvin. And I think Calvin's just moving around really intelligently, getting on the ball, getting on the half turn, and he's not been able to get close to him.
Absolutely. We've mentioned Jack Harrison, Patrick Bamford, Calvin Phillips. Who else for you? Barry Douglas, what do you make of his first 45 minutes?
I think he's been solid at left back. Very nearly put Patrick Bamford through, and just a bit too much weight on the pass. He's gone to drill it where maybe a bit of a curled one. It'd have probably got him in. But no, defensively he's done really well. He's always going to be good on the ball. You expect that from Barry Douglas. But no, like I say, as a collective effort, I think we've done well. I'd like to see us try and get Elder Costa in the game a bit more by giving him the service a little bit quicker. Mention the diagonal pass out to Jack Harrison's been on. Use that 3 or 4 times. I think it's same for Costa as well, because he's keeping his width. And also some good intelligent running behind the full back of Sheffield Wednesday. So if you're seeing it's on, it's quick, go do it. Utilise his pace, utilise his strengths. But keep doing the same things, because, like I say, what we've been doing has been good. Just up it a notch in the final third.
But hopefully they do that.
Yeah.
Right. As you said, Ben, obviously Leeds United have had more chances in the first half. Let's take a look at the 3 big ones.
And this is obviously, like we said, the main one. I think it's just tried to be too precise. And a lot of people, they always say, oh, what's the point of us in set pieces? We never score from one. We never seem to score from set pieces. This is the reason why. Calvin's delivery, I think, has been excellent all season. And that's what you need. Players on the move, players just getting ahead of the marker. And I just think, like I said, too precise there. Any effort on target, it'd have surely found the back of the net. But this was so close, like saying, being goal this season. What a touch from Harrison. He's got that in his locker. So tight is that. What is it armpit? I know they're in the fashion at the moment. Armpits being offside. So,
studs, everything.
So might have had a stray armpit hair just drifted off. So,
straight armpit.
But no, that in a nutshell is us, because the build up started coming out to Douglas, out to Harrison, laid it back off, little ball over the top, fantastic touch, and we've finished it off by finding the back of the net. Unfortunately, the old armpit hair just drifted offside, and this is towards the end. Like I say, he got so lucky there, the keeper. I don't think he kind of expected that. It almost just caught him kind of by surprise. Yeah. But mention the movement, great ball from Ben White, just put into an area where centre halves hate that. And the keeper, I'm not sure what he's doing there, to be honest. But, he almost caught him out. But that's what I like. Yeah, it's all good having the passes to feet, have that option going in behind as well, and automatically as a defender you start dropping a bit deeper, and then that's where you can play the balls into the feet, get on the half turn. Your creative players can create things.
Definitely. So Ben, you're Marcelo Bielsa.
Ooh.
You're in with the you wish. But what are you saying to them at half time before they go out there?
Go do the same thing, boys. Just be ruthless in the final third. There were a couple of times, or a handful of times, around the two centre-halves, Ben White and Liam Cooper. I think we can increase the tempo of his passing. It's easier when no one's against you. You've got a lot of time on the ball. It's easy to take 2, 3, 4 touches. I'd rather just take 2 touches. Take a touch, pass the ball. Just keep the ball moving in a nice tempo. Don't let Sheffield Wednesday set in the formation. But then, like I said, final third, just keep doing the same things, but just increase that kind of conversion rate. Be ruthless, and hopefully we'll do that. We'll be sat here, stood here at full time with a victory, Emma.
All being well. Thank you very much, Ben Parker. Right then, the teams are coming back out, so we will hand you back over to your commentary team.
Thanks, Emma. The two teams are out and ready almost for the off in this second period here at Ellen Road. Leeds United doing the usual pre-match sprints down the near side. Right in front of us, down below us, Luke Ayling with a fine mane of hair spread out. You'll need that pinning up or whatever. What do you do with the ponytail? I'm not quite sure, but he's putting it up now, doing a bit of work on it. The hairband's going on, and we're almost ready for the off, as neither side appears to have made a change during the course of the interval. Leeds United restricted in terms of attacking changes, as much as they don't have that ready-made replacement for Patrick Bamford now, with the return of Eddie Nketiah to Arsenal. But when you look down the list of potential replacements, well, Alioski, Hernandez and Shackleton could all provide attacking impetus if Leeds require it in the second period. And for Wednesday, when you look at their bench with Rhodes and Mahihu and Kadeem Harris in there are obvious opportunities for them to make that sort of change as well. Leeds get the second half underway, kicking from left to right, so defending the Kop end in this second half. Attacking the south stand end. Ben White goes back to that end now, where Kiko Casilla gets the ball at his feet, and then Casilla gets the ball back from Liam Cooper and rolls it out to Ben White just outside the penalty area. And Ben White moves forward with the ball at his feet now. Leeds would love to make a quick start to this second half. Pressure on Click is fair according to the referee. Looked like he had hands around his waist there as he tried to chase the ball. Matthias Click. Murphy, does he keep the ball in? Well, yes, he does, just on the far side. Leeds have to react quickly as a result of that. Ball breaks into the midfield. Click turns angrily towards the referee after having made the intervention for Leeds on that occasion, I think to remonstrate about the previous challenge on the halfway line, for which he got nothing. So there's a opportunity for Leeds to start building here with Calvin Phillips. From Dawson and goes straight through to Liam Cooper, now short to Calvin Phillips, and Phillips back to Ben White, and now Ben White looking for a little bit of movement to this near side. It's Calvin Phillips, over the top it goes, looking for the run of Helder Costa. Costa does really well to control edge of the penalty area. Helder Costa delivers, penalty spot, Bamford, and he gets a foot underneath it. Great movement again in front of the defender, Iorfa. Patrick Bamford made good contact with it, but the ball is lifted over the crossbar. Another chance created, another chance missed. Still 0-0. Ball in from the right-hand side from Helder Costa. Fine play from Helder Costa there, and he picked out the run of Bamford, and Bamford, well, he made the right movement and he met the ball well and just couldn't keep the shot underneath the crossbar. So Leeds United see another opportunity go away. Dawson with the goal kick that results. Over the halfway line, out towards the far side touchline. Good header won by Douglas, knocks it a long way back into the Wednesday half. Eventually it rolls out of play over on the far touchline, and it's a Wednesday throw in, and Urugide is going to take it for them. Down the line it goes, loops it up in the air onto the head of Ben White. Luongo collects on the halfway line, then he just launches a ball over the top towards Murphy over on the right side touchline. Towards a corner flag he goes. Douglas is with him. Can he get away from him? Yes, he can. Still going Murphy in towards a near post, and as it's played across the 6-yard box, Winnall was arriving, but from Leeds' perspective, Winnall was not arriving quite in time to make contact with the ball and knock it over the goal line, and that was a bit of a let-off for Leeds United.
It's a great chance for Sheffield Wednesday, isn't it? Murphy does great on the right-hand side. I don't think Douglas can allow him to get turned and come down the byline there, and fires it across the face of the goal, and Winnall sliding in. It's one of those where you know you're just not going to get there, and a bit of a let-off for Leeds, yeah, definitely.
So we've seen chances at either end right at the start of this second half. 4 minutes of the second period gone. Leeds 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Matchday Live on LUTV, brought to you by Deliveroo Food Freedom. Leeds have possession over on the far side touchline. It'll go all the way back from the touchline to Kiko Casilla. So while Sheffield Wednesday have lost their leading scorer in Fletcher for some months after a serious injury suffered at Brighton, they do have 16 goal scorers in their squad, so the goals behind Fletcher have been very much spread around. Winnall, the striker who's on the park at the moment, only notched one so far this season, but others have weighed in, made a contribution. Borner pushes up from the back in the centre circle for Wednesday. Winnall out towards this near side, and Adam Reach, who gets his fair share of goals for Wednesday. Occasionally spectacular, as Leeds have had cause to rue in the past. Harrison putting pressure on Iorfa. Iorfa goes all the way back to goalkeeper Dawson. Dawson right-footed from the edge of the penalty area. Header won by Douglas, looking for Click, can't find him. Wednesday push a ball forward towards the Leeds penalty area. White's under a bit of pressure from Lee, so he runs back towards goal and then knocks it into the path of Cooper, but Dallas, was he a bit slow there? Dallas, he didn't hear the man-on cry from the crowd even, and Wednesday get it back and then give it away straight away to Click. Now Dallas, and Dallas is clipped as he was trying to move back towards his own penalty area. Leeds get a free kick. They don't hang around with it, and Ben White runs out towards this near side touchline to get the ball for Leeds United. Now Ayling into the gap for for Dallas rather. Dallas behind Helder Costa though, and Helder Costa looks ruefully towards Stuart Dallas. The idea was right, the execution wasn't. So Helder Costa gives him a little thumbs up, and Marcelo Bielsa watches on from the bucket, and Wednesday finds some space right through the middle, out towards the right hand side. The ball goes now. Murphy on the edge of the penalty area delivers a good ball in, or it was a good looking ball in. If there'd been a man making the run early enough towards the near post, it would have been an exceptional ball in.
Good hands by Casilla though.
Yeah, goalkeeper got behind it, held onto it and rolled it out, and Leeds have the ball on this near side with Luke Ayling. Ayling, long ball over the top for Bamford to chase rather, hopefully, I suspect. Borner gets it back to Dawson, puts quite a lot on it, so the keeper has to scurry across his own goal line to get to it, and then plays it forward for Murphy, who's beaten by Douglas, gets it back off Douglas, and the play is allowed to continue with Murphy in possession for Wednesday down the right hand side. Plays the ball inside Cooper. Lee is there, into the box it goes again, and this time it's White who's behind it for Leeds, and he just knocks it back because Winnall had peeled away and was waiting in space at the back of the 6-yard box, so White knocked the ball behind for a Wednesday corner.
Just asking a few more questions, aren't they? A couple of decent runs in behind. First one in behind Douglas, and then the one in behind Cooper. Cooper's like raised his arm looking for the offside, but Ben White's dropped in 3 or 4 yards and defended well in the end, but they're just asking a few questions of us.
So Leeds have a set piece to defend here as Wednesday have their second corner kick of the game. Barry Bannon takes it for them from the far side. It whipped in towards the near post where Patrick Bamford is the first man to make contact with the ball at the cost of another corner kick. He was leaning into that one, Bamford, facing his own goal effectively.
We were talking about the wind, weren't we? It looks like it's blustering out there. Look at the assistant referees. It's swirling around, isn't it?
Yeah, the wind is back, definitely. You can see the papers now flying around on the pitch. Debris is spinning around in circles as this corner kick comes in, maybe causing problems for defenders. Referee's whistle goes for an infraction in the box there, and he's called Cooper and Iorfa for a chat. and the corner will have to be retaken. So Leeds have more moments to stay in that penalty area, as Bannon again gives a different signal this time. Ball comes in near post and it goes across the face of goal, and it's then hit over the bar by Sam Winnall in space with time, and he got the volley wrong, maybe too powerful, certainly over the crossbar.
What a chance. What a chance for Sheffield Wednesday. Great ball in. It misses everybody out, and I think it hits Cooper at the back post and just drops to Winnall on the. He's literally stood on the 6-yard line, and he hits it falling back with his left foot volley, and it's one of those that you're waiting for the net to bulge, and it flies over the crossbar, and what a let-off for Leeds United.
So Leeds have got to get into this game at the moment, because just for the first time in the afternoon, it's Wednesday on top. Now they have a chance, maybe. Well, I think that's too far ahead of Harrison. Yes, it is, from Matthias Klick.
Interesting to see there, though, the ball. We've got a goal kick with Klick, with Casilla, sorry, and Sheffield Wednesday have pushed on, stopping us playing, and Casilla then chooses to go along to Bamford, and that's the bit where we need to mix it up a little bit.
Well, Alioski is preparing to come on for Leeds, so a change is about to be made as Reach attacks for Wednesday now. Doesn't get the cross in. Now Ayling to Phillips. Can Phillips carry it on for Leeds? Well, not really, because Luongo did well to get a foot in and get the ball back for Sheffield Wednesday. Then Bamford's fouled Borna just inside the Leeds half, and I think Alioski will, well, long instructions for Gianni Alioski down below us. But now I suspect he'll come on for Douglas, would be my guess, but we'll see. As Iorfa has it at the back for Sheffield Wednesday. He delivers it up in the air. Douglas is challenging. It goes over the head of Douglas and Murphy. And then behind them, Cooper. Just a long ball over the top from Cooper, who carries all the way through to Cameron Dawson, who's come out of his penalty area to pick that up for Wednesday. Not with his hands, obviously. Controls it with his feet and then rolls the ball out to Dominic Iorfa, who carries it forward towards the halfway line. And Kieran Lee just gets in front there of Helder Costa, but to no avail for Wednesday. It goes straight through to Kiko Casilla, so still Alioski waits as the ball comes out towards this near side touchline and Luke Ayling. And Leeds know they're in a contest again now. Ben White, on it goes to Klick. Runners set off there, over the top for Dallas. Borna does really well, actually, just intercept and chest the ball down, the German central defender. And now it comes out over the near side touchline from the clearance, and now the change will be made, and now Alioski will come on, and it is Barry Douglas who's coming off. So I would imagine that's really an attacking move, isn't it?
You would think so, wouldn't you? He doesn't look like he's carrying an injury. 10 minutes into the second half, you think it would be a tactical move, most definitely. Bit of a strange one for me, I think. Sticking Alioski in at left back. Okay, he's got more attacking prowess, he gets forward better, but for the first 10 minutes, I think Sheffield Wednesday probably played better with possession of the ball down their right-hand side than they have in the first 45 minutes. So, who are we to second-guess Marcelo Bielsa?
Well, Leeds have got to defend down that side again now, because they conceded possession over there. Alioski gets back at his man, but still Wednesday carry it forward, and Leeds have done enough to get the ball away. And Wednesday thought they should have had a free kick. Leeds fans obviously disagreed, and they roar as Ayling crosses the halfway line for the home team now. Leeds United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Back into the Leeds half it goes. Ben White, short ball forward to Luke Ayling. Ayling into the centre of the park, and Bamford. Good close control from Bamford. Still has the ball, and then not a good pass from Bamford, but then Wednesday do poorly as well in conceding possession, and Phillips is quite clearly caught there by Sam Winnall. Leeds quickly take the free kick. Phillips gets it back in almost the position in which the foul was committed. One sock rolled down now. Shin guard exposed, and then Klick through the middle for Leeds. Midway inside the Wednesday half, out towards this near side touchline. Stuart Dallas. Dallas looking for options. Down the line short to Klick. It's tight in there though. Can Leeds get it out to that position, into a position where they can create something? Not at the moment. Bannon's done a good job on Klick. Klick almost turns away from one challenge and does really well to get the ball through the second one. And Phillips spins away from Winnall and then stabs the ball. Ooh, dangerous ball back into the centre circle, but Leeds get away with it. And then Cooper, he's caught by Luongo. He carries the ball on though. Now Helder Costa comes. Leeds with a bit of momentum all of a sudden. Now Costa carries the ball in field with a shot. Way over the crossbar from Helder Costa, but at least that just raises the tempo from a Leeds perspective, gets them back on the front foot again.
Sheffield Wednesday just look like they've come out of the traps a little bit quicker than second half, don't they? They're more intent on coming and closing the ball down. I think the first half they dropped in and allowed us to have possession. This half, every time we get the ball, the closest man's going and firing in, and they're trying to put a bit of a higher press on us.
Well, it's the Wednesday voices you can hear down below us at the moment. Leeds fans responding. The atmosphere is rising as the stakes rise here as well. Leeds United, well, they may be aware that West Brom were drawing at half-time, but it's the chasing pack who are of concern to Leeds more than anything at the moment. And Brentford have already put points on the board with their win against QPR. Leeds' next league opponents next weekend will be there. As Leeds lose possession now, then it's carried forward by the young right back as Jack Harrison tries to get back at him, but Orogide gets up to the edge of the penalty area, still with the ball, still forced wide of goal by Harrison and then Cooper. I think Gary Monk says he was being fouled there, and ultimately the foul goes Leeds' way as there's a little push on the back of Alioski. It also got across in front of the Wednesday player, and so ultimately Leeds deal with that.
Decent defending there. The right back nicks the ball off Harrison and drives forward, and he's just run out of ideas, hasn't he, really? But yeah, much more of an even game in the second half than it was in the first half. And as I say, I think that's just the fact of Sheffield Wednesday have actually come out and now trying to play. They've got some sense of trying to win the game. I think first half they were just happy for us to have possession, and they were just going to upset us and frustrate us more than anything else, which I think they did. And you listen to the crowd at half time, there were a couple of little boos and, like you say, a bit of anxiety knocking around.
Wonder whether we're going to see another change for Leeds United soon, as the name of Pablo Hernandez fills the early evening air here at Ellen Road. Ben White knocks the ball out towards his right-hand side, and Matthias Klick with the ball level with the edge of the Sheffield Wednesday penalty area. Asked a lot of Dallas, and Iorfa again, who's been really good at the back for Sheffield Wednesday, stepped in ahead of the Leeds player, read it, stepped in, dealt with it, knocked it out for another Leeds United throw-in, this time level with the edge of the Wednesday box. As the call goes out for Pablo Hernandez to return from the warm-up to the dugout, which is surely the precursor to him coming into the action. Stuart Dallas under pressure from Luongo, gives the ball back to Ayling down this near side to Klick looking for help from Costa. Costa has the ball. It's Morgan Fox is tight to his back, and Morgan Fox with 2 feet involved, one to knock Costa, the second to knock the ball, as Costa falls off Morgan Fox there over on the far side touchline. When I say falls off, falls over as a result potentially of a push. What's the referee going to give here? Is he going to allow play to continue? Is he just going to call the 2 players towards him? I think he is, and then Leeds will ultimately still have a throw in. Just a little, I don't know whether Costa ran into Fox or Fox gave him a little shove, or maybe 6 and 2 threes.
It's nothing, is it, really? He's just turned to run past him, and Fox has just put his hands out to hold him, and he goes down. If we go down that quick, I'd like to see him in the middle of a shopping centre.
Start the sales. Stuart Dallas into the penalty area. Jack Harrison skips away from a challenge, but away from goal to Klick, who curls the shot in. Too close to the keeper, though, from Matthias Klick there. Not quite the spectacular finish, but again, Leeds with a bit of a sighter in terms of shots on goal. Dawson held onto it easily enough, rolls it out, underarm to Iorfa. The game is really much more open in the second half. Iorfa, strong run forward from the centre-back again. And now Luongo out towards this near side, and then Fox infield to Reach, and then Reach back into his own half to Borna. And Borna with the ball infield to Barry Bannon. Barry Bannon in the centre circle with a bit of space, carrying it on, still going, blocked by Stuart Dallas, comes back to Luongo, now Reach, 15-20 yards outside the Leeds penalty area. In it goes to Kieran Lee, who's inside the penalty area, knocks it back into the path of Murphy, just outside the area, gives it back to Lee again. Lee on the edge of the area, and it hits Ben White, and it goes behind for a Wednesday corner kick.
Another decent passage of play by Sheffield Wednesday. He started off by, as you say, Iorfa, a really ferocious sort of like drive through the middle of the pitch, and it just sort of overloads that area, that middle area, and they get Bannon free on the ball. A little one round the corner to Kieran Lee, and you can see the confidence growing in them as a team.
Yeah, Leeds not really able to put anything like the same amount of pressure on Sheffield Wednesday in the opening stage of the second half. Well, we've passed the hour mark now. We've had 63 minutes as the corner kick comes in. Again, it's testing. Casilla under the crossbar, punches away, not entirely convincingly. Two-handed punch, and Calvin Phillips completes the job of clearing. Well, Barry Bannon is causing real problems with those corners. As the ball comes in, he's got the chance to do the same again, because Calvin Phillips, this time at a stretch, knocks the ball behind. This is a good period of the game for Sheffield Wednesday, and Leeds are being asked different questions here all of a sudden.
Doesn't fill you with confidence, does he, the keeper, when the, you know, from that left-hand side especially, Bannon, you know, whizzing him in under the crossbar. And for me, you'd just like him to come and take that and take the sting out of the game. And
well, it's going to be another in-swinger, I think, isn't it? Because they brought Murphy over to this side to take it. So Bannon not taking the near side corner kick. So it's Murphy instead who's come in. So you would imagine they're going to try and drop that in the same area again. Exactly what they do. And Casilla comes and flaps, and it's on the penalty spot. And it's still alive for Sheffield Wednesday before Liam Cooper gets a foot in. Well, the fewer corner kicks Leeds can concede between now and the end of this game in terms of heart rate and all the rest of it, the better. Long ball forward, Winnall surely offside. Yes, he is. Last man, and it's a Leeds free kick just on the edge of their own penalty area.
I was seeing after that last corner, Casilla's having a bit of a go at Calvin Phillips, and for what I really don't know, because you know, at the end of the day, he's got to come and collect those. If
it's that close to the goal
line, you know, you've got to come and use your hands and be dominant. You don't expect your defenders to head it away when you can come and catch it.
Leeds have the ball over on the far side. At the moment, you'd say the away team was on top. Alioski in possession for Leeds United. We await the arrival of Pablo Hernandez. Leeds need somebody to get a grip on this game, in the midfield in particular, because Barry Bannon, who's a very capable championship footballer, is controlling things a little bit in there at the moment. Costa on this near side touchline tries a back heel, but again closed down quickly, and the final touch, it appears, comes off Helder Costa, not Morgan Fox. And now the change will be made, and it's Matthias Klick who will come off, and it will be Pablo Hernandez who returns to the action for Leeds United after another spell out through injury. So it's 19 for 43. Matthias Klick puts a forlorn figure as he walks towards this dugout near side. Not been his day, and thus far not been Leeds' day either. 0-0 the score. 65 minutes gone here at Ellen Road. Same scoreline between the two teams when they met at Hillsborough in October. Calvin Phillips in possession, held up by Luongo, fouled by Luongo. Leeds free kick. And Luke Ayling thinks about taking it quickly again. Well, he does take it fairly quickly, and he goes short again, and he goes back to Ben White, and Ben White goes across to Liam Cooper, and Cooper gives it back to Ben White again. And maybe Leeds just need a period of possession here as White now carries it forward. He's gone a long way up for Leeds. He gives it out to Hernandez. First time for him to get a ball in. Great looking ball in from Pablo Hernandez, and Dawson reacts well. Drop down on the edge of the 6-yard box as the ball was just beginning to swing away potentially from the goalkeeper there, but he held on to it. Pablo Hernandez's first contribution was almost a telling one.
Great idea, wasn't it? First ball into his feet, he just opens his body out, and
pause there, because there's a kick from one end to the other, wasn't it, from Dawson?
And so, because of the position where we're sat, you lose the ball, don't you? And I could just see Cooper's reaction, and I was wondering whether the wind had got hold of it. Anyway, it did. It blew it into Casilla's hands, but yeah, just going back to Hernandez, he opens himself out and he whizzes that ball into sort of like the second 6-yard area, and unfortunately for Leeds, there's nobody trying to dive across the front of a defender, which, you know, that's where you score the goals from.
Well, Wednesday about to make a change. I think Gary Monk's had a look at those last couple of corner kicks and said to Ante Nahiu, the 6'5" Kosovan international, the time is right, my friend. Alioski, the North Macedonian international, with a misplaced ball, it goes straight to Iorfa. Iorfa then, in turn, in a bit of a panic, knocks the ball into touch for Leeds throw in. And Leeds just can't get into this game in this second half. Not really put too much pressure on Cameron Dawson. Hernandez cross maybe apart, and then the ball goes out over the far side touchline for a Wednesday throw in.
Very flat, isn't it? You know, as a second half in comparison to the first half, you know, Leeds were on top, they had lots of ball. Sheffield Wednesday were dropping in and allowing them to have possession, and they've just changed it a little bit for me. They've come out second half, Sheffield Wednesday, and they're more in Leeds United's space and closing that space and time down, like we said about Arsenal doing in the second half, and all of a sudden it becomes a little bit more difficult to play the game that you want to play.
So Winnall comes off for Wednesday and Nahiu comes on for Wednesday. That's clearly a straight swap. Leeds have got a whole different sort of challenge now because he's a giant,
he's a big lad.
Replacement striker.
Gets all of it though. He's decent. I mean, for the size of him, he's got decent feet. He's not the quickest, but he'll chase the channel. He'll make a bad ball into a good ball for you, and he's, as you can imagine, he's a real threat on set pieces.
So Wednesday's first change. Leeds home to change the scoreline now as Dallas attacks for them down the left-hand side on the overlap. Jack Harrison in towards the edge of the penalty area, and it almost breaks for Helder Costa via a Wednesday foot on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it doesn't quite break. And now it's Adam Reach who carries it for Wednesday. He loses out after a challenge from Calvin Phillips, and it's switched quickly towards Jack Harrison. Can he keep the ball in play over by the far byline? Yes, he can. It's deep into the penalty area, drops on the edge of the box. Hernandez is beaten to it in the air by Lee, and it comes out for Calvin Phillips. And now Hernandez midway inside the Wednesday half, looking to pick a pass out, comes out to Ayling on this near side, just in from the touchline, moves further in from the touchline, lets Hernandez take it off him, and then it's played inside the defender for Helder Costa. Can he keep the ball in? Well, he can, but he can't get past the defender, and it's Morgan Fox who recovers well and gets the ball up the line to Nahiu. Keeps the ball in play, gives it back to Barry Bannon, who clips the ball forward to Luongo. Luongo spins away from Calvin Phillips as well there, Massimo Luongo, and then tries to play the ball onto Nahiu. Liam Cooper has it with Nahiu on his back, and it goes all the way back to Kiko Casilla. But it's a real even contest now, this one. Leeds dominant in the first half, shots, corners, the whole lot, possession most certainly, but Wednesday giving every bit as good as they get at the moment. And Leeds really struggling to create anything in and around that Wednesday penalty area. That's why Pablo Hernandez is on the pitch now. Plays the ball over for Luke Ayling to this near side. Ayling controls well and then delivers a ball out towards the far side. And Alioski drifting off his man into the danger area. It comes from Alioski looking to try and get Dallas into it. Iorfa's underneath it. Leeds battling away in there. Borner's there. Alioski comes across to try and put pressure on him, but Wednesday have done enough to get the ball cleared. It's given away. Now Harrison, he works the ball really well down the far side, gives it to Alioski. Alioski into the edge of the penalty area. Jack Harrison's first touch is heavy, and as a result they give Barry Bannon the chance to nip in and run the ball away for Sheffield Wednesday, and that was a real shame because done well there. Nahiu's clattered into the back of Liam Cooper, who holds his head, clutches his head immediately, and this might yet be the first yellow card of the afternoon because he looks like he's gone straight through the back of the Leeds central defender, and the referee reaches for his book, his notebook, and yes indeed it is Nahiu's introduction to the game, courtesy of a yellow card, the first of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's not a nice challenge, is it? And I think the difficult part for Cooper is he's pedalling backwards and he's watching the ball, and all of a sudden somebody smacks you at the back of the head, and as a centre forward he'll know what that feels like.
So Ayling has it for Leeds on this near side in the Wednesday half, up to Bamford just outside the box, misplaces his pass. Wednesday work it back again Bannon over on the near side now, working prodigiously hard. The Wednesday central midfielder gives it to Luongo. He carries it a long way forward for Wednesday, and then he switches play to Murphy over on the right hand side. Wednesday can throw extra bodies forward now. The ball goes right out towards the fullback. It's going to be too far ahead. Well, he's made a long busting run there as Uragide, but all to no avail because the pass from Murphy was too far ahead of him. Now he's got to run all the way back again. 19 years old, having made your debut last week against Brighton in the FA Cup, and now you're in a high pressure, and that actual effort, the effort expended there, he's pretty slow to get back. As the ball comes over this near side, Burner intercepts for Wednesday up towards the halfway line and Reach, and then Nahiu back into Luongo, back to Reach right on the touchline down below us. Nahiu, and it comes off Calvin Phillips, and that's going to be a throw-in, and Leeds are considering another change here.
Yeah, I think they need something to mix it up, don't they? You know, we're not as dominant on the ball, we're not as free-flowing, the passing's not as crisp and not as sharp as it was the first half, and you know, I think that's probably down to two things. You know, we're just not on our game as much, but I think Sheffield Wednesday have raised their game and are playing in our faces a bit more.
Well, I think it's Jordan Stevens who's coming on. Might raise one or two eyebrows with Shackleton on the bench. But Leeds not able to make the change yet, as Sheffield Wednesday have possession midway inside their own half. Reaches under pressure, so he goes back to keeper Dawson, who's been well protected largely in the second half. Slices his clearance a bit there, but Dallas can't get to it ahead of Kieran Lee. Lee down the line and over the goal, over the far touchline, and that will be a Leeds United throw in. So Stevens is ready to come on as Dallas gets the ball off Alioski. It's been a tough old afternoon ultimately, as anticipated, it has to be said, as predicted perhaps even here this afternoon.
Yeah, you just think, you know, looking at the clock, 73 minutes, so 20 minutes give or take with a bit of added time on, and it needs a spark, doesn't it? It just needs something to lift the crowd and lift the players.
As the ball comes over the far, it's overhit that by Jack Harrison. He knows it, and it's miles ahead of Helder Costa, and it goes sails behind for a goal kick. So Leeds United, having recorded draws in their last 2 home league games, really need to make sure that they get back to winning ways sooner rather than later. If the gap narrows a little at the end of this afternoon, they don't want that to happen, basically. Keep everybody else at arm's length. Stevens is on, and Helder Costa's off. So it's a pretty bold move, that, in many senses.
Yeah, very much so. One of Costa's sort of like off afternoons, wasn't it? You know, I think most people you've expected maybe a little bit more from him. You know, with a big price tag and the history and, you know, his past record, but not his afternoon. This afternoon, chance on 45 minutes, I think, in the first half, where he's blazed over the crossbar.
Well, there's a high kick from Ben White on Nahiu there. The refs allowed play to continue. Leeds are perhaps a little fortunate as the swung ball in from Adam Reach. Well, we've seen him score spectacular goals in the past, and just for half a second there was one of those sharp intakes of breath as the ball came in towards goal and then ultimately carried on over the crossbar. Leeds have the ball at the back with Liam Cooper on the edge of the penalty area. 15 minutes of normal time remaining. Stevens doesn't get his first touch. It goes over his head straight through to Borna, and again Wednesday enjoying a good little spell of possession here. Borna able to push forward in this second half. The second central defender, Barry Bannon, over the top. Alioski's got to leave that. Oh, he didn't. He got in front of Kiko Casilla. Surely the goalkeeper told him to leave that one alone there, but Alioski made the header anyway. Luckily there was nobody there for Sheffield Wednesday, and Leeds are able to rectify the situation. Harrison can't get the ball off Iorfa, and then it's Murphy trying to get away from Alioski. Alioski brings him down far side, and Leeds not at the races just at the moment, and Alioski's going to get booked for that challenge on Murphy, and Sheffield Wednesday have a free kick in the Leeds half.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. The ball's going into the keeper, and you'll probably hear the keeper shouting, but you know that you can get a header on it, and you're thinking in a nanosecond, well, if I can head it, a striker can head it, you know. So for me, I think
safety first.
Yeah, Alioski does the right thing. Clear the danger. Have the inquest after.
Ball played up towards the edge of the penalty area. Nahiu's onside. He's found some space, and then he delivers a really poor cross. And Leeds have cause to be grateful for that as well, because it was a simple free kick, and Nahiu had stood all alone on the edge of the penalty area. Now Wednesday are going to make another change. So Pelopessi is coming on for them, and Luongo is coming off.
So Pelopessi's more of a defensive midfielder. Luongo has got more of an attacking straight. So for me, it's pretty much a straight for straight swap. But whether they push Kieran Lee a bit more forward into an attacking position, or maybe push Barry Bannon into a more forward position.
So we are at critical stage of the game now, because we are inside the final 15 minutes here at Ellen Road. The scoreline reads Leeds United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Matchday live on LUTV, brought to you by Deliveroo Food Freedom. It's been tight, it's been tense, and Leeds have not really created a great deal in this second period. They're trying now, but unsuccessfully again, as the ball down the far side touchline is allowed to run all the way behind by Iorfa, who's been really impressive for Sheffield Wednesday this afternoon. Calmness personified, but he's put the work in when required as well in there.
Came in as a fullback, not always the greatest. You know, he's a big, tall lad, gangly. He's got good pace, and then they dropped him into a central defensive area. And to be fair, he's done an outstanding job since he's been there for the last 2 or 3 months.
we hope that he'll have more work to do between now and the end of the game. At the moment, Wednesday look fairly comfortable as the ball comes over this near side touchline, or towards this near side touchline, doesn't cross it. Reach keeps it in play. Ayling underneath it, and Ayling's gone through the back of the challenging player for Wednesday, who have now, as a result, a free kick in a position from which they can deliver a ball into the Leeds penalty area, midway inside the Leeds half. Lee is the man who's caught there by Ayling, and just calls from Barry Bannon for the physio to come on. The referee says he'll make that decision, and Lee is back on his feet thanks to a little lift up from Pablo Hernandez, and he just rolls his right arm around as if he's been caught in the shoulder, and Leeds have to defend another free kick. Barry Bannon, whose set piece delivery has been good this afternoon. Bannon gives the signal. In it comes. Again, Nahi, who's got away from the marking defender, wrestled himself away and was the first man to meet that, but Lee's got bodies around it to clear. And then Hernandez down the line to Jordan Stevens. Jordan Stevens gives it back to Hernandez. Leeds still midway inside their own half, and it's delivered a long way wide to Jack Harrison. Then it comes back to Liam Cooper. And Cooper, you'll hear the home supporters now trying to lift the noise to get the side lifted as well. Alioski in from the touchline, plays a long ball up towards the edge of the box. It's over the head of Fox. It comes for Bamford on the edge of the penalty area. He goes past one challenge, Patrick Bamford. Can he cut the ball back? Holds it up, and it's onto the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's that man Uragide, who's in there for Sheffield Wednesday, in the right place at the right time to clear from what looked like a really promising position for Leeds. Thrown in quickly for Leeds on this right-hand side. Hernandez has the ball. Now Ayling tries to keep the ball in play, manages to do just that. Now he gives it back to Stevens, gets it back from Stevens. Ayling on this right-hand side, chance to cross, curls the ball in. Great ball in! Oh, header over the top. And that was an opportunity for Jack Harrison, arriving late at the back post, and the ball goes up in the end. It's still in play, and Leeds come again down this right-hand side. Stevens underneath it, forced out wide by Bannon. Bannon, in fact, steps in to take the ball off Stevens, and he'll run it back. Almost, he gives it away, though, to Luke Ayling, right in from this near side touchline. Pressure from Leeds now, gives it back to Calvin Phillips. Phillips goes square into a bit of space to Liam Cooper. Cooper has Alioski waiting out wide, and Alioski gets the ball from Liam Cooper now. He plays a deep ball, too deep. It's got to come out over on this near side touchline. Too much on that from Alioski. That's disappointing.
Tempo just raised a little bit, wasn't it? And it's a nothing ball, isn't it? It's from Alioski, I think, and he's trying to find Patrick Bamford, and I think Borna gets under it and mistimes it, and all of a sudden Bamford's sort of like driving towards that dead ball line, and nobody got across the front of a defender to get a nick and give him an option.
We mentioned that the young right back might have found it difficult chasing up a long way to get a ball a few minutes ago, and he's had to stretch out. A little bit of onset of cramp there. It's just one thing that Leeds might have a look at exploiting perhaps in these final stages of the game. They have the ball again in the Wednesday half. Ayling trying to play it through the gap for Dallas. He's fouled there, Luke Ayling, after he played the pass. That's a silly foul from Sheffield Wednesday, from Kieran Lee, because Leeds actually had lost possession, and they have a chance to play a quick free kick, and it's played into the penalty area from Pablo Hernandez, but there was a good reaction from Adam Reach, and he stretched out and knocked it behind for a Leeds corner kick.
Right and sharp, isn't he? Hernandez comes on, and you can see how he makes us tick at times.
So Calvin Phillips to this near side. It's a chance for Leeds to get the ball into that Sheffield Wednesday penalty area. It's not been there enough in this second half. Phillips gives the ball now, goes in deep, over the head, towards the head of Alioski, comes out on the edge of the penalty area for Jordan Stevens. Stevens gives it back to Pablo Hernandez. Hernandez carries the ball parallel with the edge of the Wednesday penalty area. Now Ayling forced away from goal, slides into a challenge. Leeds hold possession. Leeds still have possession. Alioski on the far side, the chance to cross the ball. No, he plays it down the line instead for Harrison. Harrison cuts it back for Alioski to drive, and it's come off a defender and out to Liam Cooper on the edge of the box, and back again to Harrison. Harrison going for the byline. Can he get the ball over? No, he can't, but Leeds do get a corner kick. Much better from Leeds, this.
Loads better. He didn't really look confident, did he? You know, stepping in on his right foot, Alioski, and he swung the lamb chop a little bit, and it get a ricochet, but one of the Wednesday players goes down in the 6-yard box. I don't know who it is, whether is it Borna?
Luke Ayling is being accused of something here. I'm not sure what it is. It all happened. The play was over on the left-hand side of the penalty area, and it's Borna who gets up now, looking uncomfortable and limping away from it. Nobody seems to have spotted it. Ref's assistant near side's not mentioned it. Leeds ultimately definitely do have a corner kick. Noise levels rise from the Leeds United fans.
Ailey's having a word with the referee, isn't he? Not happy with Morgan Fox. I think a few words between them.
So Leeds United, the chance is here for them to create something from the foot of Calvin Phillips. Again, it goes deep. Alioski wins the header down. It just spins behind Harrison. Stevens picks it up just outside the penalty area. Can't control properly. And under pressure, Barry Bannon is happy just to launch the ball up towards the centre circle. Bounces and drops for Stuart Dallas. Leeds can keep players forward. Now Luke Ayling on this right-hand side. Luke Ayling, he's just going to go long with that one. Will he look for Bamford? But it's an easy header for Iorfa. Drops on the edge of the area, and Borna comes in to help out, and then Phillips underneath it for Leeds. Nods the ball wide to Pablo Hernandez. Leeds looking better with Hernandez in the driving seat all of a sudden, but his ball actually there is not great, and it goes up towards the edge of the area from where it's cleared by Iorfa for a Leeds throw in.
All of a sudden Sheffield Wednesday have dropped, haven't they? They're back in their final third. Just looking down, it looks like they're making another change. Sam Hutchinson's coming on. I think the right back, the young lad's coming off.
I'm not surprised, but he's meant to go off in the nearest possible position, isn't he? And he was playing at right back, so that would have been right in front of the east stand. Instead, he's run all the way across the park. That's why the home fans are annoyed that Sam Hutchinson, very experienced player, former Chelsea man, has gone across over to that right-hand side. I'm not at all surprised by that switch from Sheffield Wednesday, because he was looking tired, Urugide, but he has cause to feel satisfaction again with his performance. Goal not scored while he's been on the pitch, as it was the case at Brighton last weekend in the Cup. Phillips under pressure on the halfway line, so it goes back to Liam Cooper in the Leeds half. 85 minutes almost gone here at Ellen Road. Leeds 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Cooper, long ball out towards this near side, and Ayling gets in ahead of reach with a header. It's ball's up in the air. It might break for a Leeds corner kick. It does break for a Leeds corner kick, so the pressure remains, and Luke Ayling's done a really good job over there.
Great. Did a great job there, didn't he? He's probably a 60-40 against him in the header, and he gets up and tries to win it, and then reacts to the second one and goes and leaps and puts the Sheffield Wednesday, Morgan Fox, I think it was, under enough pressure that he heads it out for a corner.
Leeds take a short one. They vary it this time. Swung in by Hernandez. Bamford with a header. Got into a good position. He said that he was being pulled down. He got good contact on the header, but he couldn't keep it under the crossbar. And Leeds see another chance go. Yeah,
I think Morgan Fox is all over him, but listen, that's what defenders are there for, aren't they? You're not going to step aside and allow him to have a free header from 6-7 yards out. So, good defending in some respects, but yeah, he's got to do a little bit better with that, I think.
36,422 the attendance here this afternoon. I think that's the biggest crowd of the season, isn't it? So they've squeezed everybody into every seat. And at the moment, the vast majority of that number are frustrated because Leeds United...
I think Sheffield Wednesday have sold their full allocation as well, which makes a huge difference, doesn't it? I think, there's not that many teams actually have come here this season and sold their allocation.
Leeds have often sold the allocation for them ultimately. But they're seeing a battle at the moment, and Wednesday suddenly have a bit of space right hand side of the penalty area. Murphy drives it in, and Murphy scores for Sheffield Wednesday, and the away bench rushes onto the pitch to celebrate, and Leeds are caught cold, and it's Leeds United 0, Wednesday 1.
That's a really poor goal to concede, isn't it? It's a bit of a sloppy ball, nobody gets hold of it, drops in and somebody runs off. Is it Murphy? Runs off the back of Liam Cooper, and he just plays one round the corner, and it's a tight angle, isn't it? It's a really tight angle for him to fire it straight through Casilla. Me personally, I'm looking at your goalkeeper. I think the keeper's got to do better with it.
Beaten at the near post.
He's done him at the near post. That's atrocious.
So Leeds United have suffered a massive setback here at Ellen Road inside the final few minutes of this game. Haven't done a massive amount in terms of trying to get, they've worked really hard to try and get a goal in this second half, and not much has come off. And now right at the death, Sheffield Wednesday have claimed the goal that you would anticipate now will win the game. And Gary Monk, with that little mini run of his against Marcelo Bielsa, 2 wins last season, a draw at Hillsborough, and now on course for a victory here at Ellen Road as Lee brings down Calvin Phillips and is booked for that challenge just inside the Leeds half. And it's the Wednesday voices you can hear now. It's not been a vintage Leeds performance by any stretch of the imagination, but you would have thought that this game was just heading towards maybe a goalless draw, but all of a sudden Leeds caught out, and it's a goal that they will have to watch, I'm sure, time and time again in the aftermath of this one.
I don't think you'd have even put it down as a good chance, would you? You know, in comparison to some of them, you know, the first half opportunities that Leeds had got. And he just puts his foot through it, and it does the keeper on the near post.
Well, the Wednesday fans offer the now time-honoured suggestion that Leeds are falling apart again. That will be the concern if this is how the scoreline remains for the Leeds fans, because it's been a tricky run recently, and just one win in the last 6 will possibly, well, surely now will be and Hutchinson is there to sweep it forward up into the Leeds half, where Cooper is under a bit of pressure from Mihiu. Gives it to Alioski, and Alioski back to Liam Cooper. And it's all the noise from the away supporters section underneath us now. Sheffield Wednesday resurrect their own promotion push potentially here with a big win in the Yorkshire derby. Ball out towards this near side, and Luke Ayling. Header won by Morgan Fox. Now Jordan Stevens tries to tee it up for Bamford, but he's misplaced that ball, and it's easy for Bannon. Bannon gets away, drops a shoulder, gets away from Stevens, and now 5 added minutes with Dallas looking like his race may be run here. He took a bang earlier, and he's really hobbling along at the moment. Leeds have made all the changes, so just when it was hard, it gets harder potentially. As the ball goes out towards the far side touchline, Hutchinson behind it for Sheffield Wednesday. Over the top, it's gone out to play. And as we look, we've moved into added time now. And so Leeds, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it very late in. You'd have to say Wednesday look in control of this game at the moment. Leeds not really being given a glimmer of any opportunity here, because Wednesday have worked really hard, closed the gaps down, and been a much more stronger force in this second period. Leeds have it on the halfway line, in the centre circle. Liam Cooper, short ball to Calvin Phillips. Back it comes to Liam Cooper again. Cooper looks up, nothing on. That's a classic example, if you like, there of the work being done by the away team. As Alioski has it on the touchline, it goes beyond Harrison though, it's misplaced, and Iorfa, as he's done all afternoon, steps in to clear, and it goes to Calvin Phillips, and then back. Leeds deep in their own half, not where they want to be, with 1 minute 20 seconds of added time now having elapsed. Cooper he tries to play a long ball at the top, he's mishit that as well, and Wednesday win the ball on the halfway line through the goal scorer Murphy. Out it goes wide to Lee, and Lee just happy to hold the ball up and keep possession now. Hutchinson chips one over the top. Murphy would have been offside. It comes all the way through to Kiko Casilla, and Casilla out towards Ben White. Ben White steps forward for Leeds, not much on, so goes short to Ayling. The block is there from Wednesday, 2 banks if you like, as Leeds try and find a gap, but again the gap is closed down. Morgan Fox steps in ahead of Patrick Bamford. Now heading for the exits here at Ellen Road, in this crowd of over 36,000. Leeds have it with Bamford. Bamford out towards the far side touchline. Alioski's got a bit of space over there. Can he deliver the right ball into the penalty area? The answer is no, not really. Borna underneath it and clears it out, and it goes all the way up into the Leeds half.
Yeah, it's pretty basic from Sheffield Wednesday now, isn't it? You know, they've got a lead to hang on to. They're going to throw everything in front of Leeds players. Any ball, every header, they're going to work hard and challenge for it.
Bamford goes down, looks for the free kick. Don't think he was ever really going to get that. Very optimistic appeal. And now Wednesday have it halfway line and then beyond and into Leeds territory with Kieran Lee on the far side. I don't think he'll be overly ambitious here. Lee, he'll just keep possession. That's what he does. Gives it to Murphy. Now Nahiu. Nahiu's outside the Leeds penalty area. Ben White's got the ball off him though, down by the corner flag. It's not where Leeds want to be. And Ben White steps away from the challenge of Nahiu. Now he carries the ball forward. This is, it's a poor ball from White. It's beyond Stuart Dallas, and you'll hear frustration from the home fans. They know that's a chance gone, and now there's another chance for Wednesday. Reach with the ball in for Nahiu, and he drives it up into the top corner. And Sheffield Wednesday win the game. Leeds 0, Wednesday 2.
Game, set and match, isn't it? You know, Leeds trying to push forward. It's a poor ball from Ben White, but I don't think it's helped by Dallas, who's nursing a knock. Sheffield Wednesday get it back, and they put it out here to Adam Reach, who plays a little 1-2 round Luke Ayling, and it just shows. I mean, he picks out Atinu, left foot finish into the top right hand corner, 2-0. You know, you sort of like bereft the chances that we had first half, the opportunities we got to score goals, and we've said it all along, we've said it all season, that, you know, if you don't take your chances, you don't put teams to bed, they'll come back and haunt you. And it's a fantastic result for Sheffield Wednesday, but it's you know, devastating afternoon for Leeds United.
So Leeds United behind by 2 goals in the very last few seconds of this game. It's inevitable, the outcome now, and they'll battle on manfully right to the end. But you just look again, and that get the feeling that requirement for an extra attacking element in there, just for something a little bit different maybe, is shown even more greatly perhaps this afternoon.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. It's you know, we said it before, I think we're a little bit one-dimensional, you know, and when you're on top like you were first half, and we've got the opportunity to score goals, and we're creating chances, you've got to make them count. And Sheffield Wednesday, to be fair to them, have come out second half and they've changed the game. They've played higher up the park, they've made it more difficult for us, and it's hard to say, but I think they've been the better team second half, haven't they, really? And we've huffed and puffed, and we've just looked a bit bereft of ideas, and a bit lacking in things going forward and opportunities.
So we are now in added time of added time. The outcome of this game we already know, because Leeds have too much work to do here. There'll be no dramatic Preston comebacks for this one. And you think back to that game against Cardiff when Leeds were 3 up and conceded that lead to lose 3-0. And as you hear the full-time whistle go here, it's the Sheffield Wednesday players who are celebrating a big victory against their Yorkshire rivals, and it's the Leeds the Leeds players who stand hands on haunches, drop down to their haunches, hands on heads, and just wonder how that one got away from them. Started really well, good first half, but didn't take chances, and in the second half they met a different Sheffield Wednesday, and that Sheffield Wednesday took the game to Leeds. Although the game was seemingly heading for a draw in the latter stages, Wednesday came up with the goal through Murphy, and then they rounded it all off with Nahiu's late drive into the top corner. So Leeds lose their second home league game of the season. 2 draws and a defeat in that home run. That's the thing that needs to be addressed. There are issues now, aren't there, John, that need to be worked on?
Yeah, it would seem so. As I said, I think first half we played well, we were the dominant force, but when teams change the way that they play against, when teams come and have a bit of a go and stop us playing out from the back, you know, we find it difficult, and I think we find it difficult to get the ball forward, we find it difficult to get it forward with quality into Patrick Bamford, and we can't play around teams in the way that we did in the first half, and there's a number of occasions that's happened now over the last couple of months, and we don't seem to come up with an answer as yet.
So the Sheffield Wednesday fans go over towards the travelling supporters, who are happily celebrating down below us, and the Leeds fans, one or two still in the ground to applaud the players who return their applause. Calvin Phillips still out there, Jack Harrison still out there, Ben White still out there, and then they all begin the weary walk back towards the tunnel near side, because this has not been a great afternoon for Leeds United, and it's the away side who claim the honours at the end of that afternoon. It's finished here at Elland Road. Leeds United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Welcome back to LUTV. Thank you very much to our commentary team. It is Sheffield Wednesday 2, Leeds United 0. I'm joined once more by ex-Leeds United player Ben Parker. And before we get into it, Ben, what happened?
Just didn't come out second half. So unlike our performance, what we've been used to. And you have to give credit to Sheffield Wednesday. I think they deserved the victory on the balance of the second half performance. But we had the chances first half. Could take one or two of them. It's a different type of game. But bitterly disappointed how the game panned out. But it's one of those now, put it to one side. We've got to dust ourselves off, and we've got to go again at QPR next Saturday.
You have. We will take a look at the highlights very shortly, but where was it? Where did Leeds United lose it on the pitch?
I just think we had the control that we used to. We used to dictate in the tempo, dictate in the possession territory, and Sheffield Wednesday seemed confident in just dropping in, but then as passing wasn't as slick, it wasn't as precise, a lot of turnovers, and it played into the Sheffield Wednesday players' hands by they can go and counter-attack. And that's why we just didn't have that control. And the longer the half went on, we didn't really create anything clear-cut. And sucker punch winning 1-0, 2-0, we're trying to do things, trying to get back into the game. But real disappointing afternoon.
Do you think confidence started to dip after a while into that second half?
I won't say it's a confidence thing, because you're top of the table, you're playing some good stuff all season, so the confidence should be high. But I think we just kind of went away from what we've been good at by doing the basics well, crisp passing, playing to people's feet, creating chances. I think the keeper, second half of Sheffield Wednesday, was a bit spectator for most of that 45 minutes. So look, it's disappointing, but we've got to go again. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. There's games coming, like I say, quick and fast now. QPR next Saturday, then going to a big run coming up to February. So look, we've got to dust ourselves off and go again.
We certainly do. We'll have a look at the highlights from the first half first. Of course, the first half being the stronger half, wasn't it?
It was, and like I said, I thought we were the dominant team throughout the first half, creating chances, playing well. We just didn't have that kind of clinical edge in front of goal. We missed a great chance through Jack Harrison. But what we did well, we set little traps. So when Sheffield Wednesday were trying to play out, we won the ball high up the pitch, won the second ball, and then we were straight at the heart of them. But these kind of chances were few and far between, because I thought first half especially, the back four played really well. Great touch by Liam Cooper there, just to put Jacob Murphy off his stride. And like I say, we were creating chances. The disappointing thing, it was 0-0 at half time, probably similar to the Arsenal game, though I thought we definitely played better in the first half down at the Emirates, but just didn't convert.
What is it, Ben? Because I was going to touch on that. Obviously, we saw an impressive performance in the first half against Arsenal on Monday, and the same in the first half today against Sheffield Wednesday. But what is it that's stopping us from just finishing it off?
It's probably more of a mental block, but having that bit of composure as well in the final third. We saw the amount of chances. Most games we're always going to create chances.
Yeah.
That's what we're about. But we're at its best when we're clinical in front of goal. We take that little bit of time. Always see the top strikers. They're ice cold in those situations. They slow everything down. Almost everything in front of them in slow motion, and then they're able to finish it off. But this is the offside call where it's really tight. Like we said, the armpit probably offside. But that'd have been one of the goals of the season. The way we built up, good finish from Patrick. Unfortunately, it was the offside. But first half, I thought Jack Harrison were excellent. He had a lot of ball. We were trying to find him, especially on the diagonal passes, just trying to feed him nice and early. But second half, the service going to the wide men, the service going to the forward players, just wasn't great at all. And again, another diagonal pass out to Harrison. This time plays a little 1-2 with Dallas on edge of the box. And it's a good save by the keeper down to his right-hand side. But you expected more of this in the second half, because you're not going to score every time in the first half or every chance you create. We know that, but you've got to keep going. You've got to keep trying to create things. This is towards the end, and we didn't do that enough as well. in the second half, getting down the sides of centre halves. I thought it was very comfortable for Sheffield Wednesday's back four. Everything were kind of in front of them. Like I said, the service to the wide men, the service to Patrick Bamford wasn't there in the second half, and that's where it kind of broke down, because this was kind of one of the rare occasions where we've got Elder Costa, and right at the start of the half, difficult finishes that. You running onto it full pelt. He's on his weaker right foot. You're just trying to help it towards goal. Just got that bit too much on it. It's sailed over the bar. But great start to the half. You think, right, let's build on that now. Let's keep the momentum going. But it didn't work out. And like I said, there's occasions just getting down the sides of us. We got away with one there, very nearly a tap into the back post for Winnell. But like I say, we're never comfortable. We never had a foothold. We never had that control. And that's the big thing for Marcelo Bielsa. He speaks about control. Again, we got away with one there. He should really find the back of the net. First one at the back post, kind of just hit the Sheffield Wednesday player, and then the rebound. So you got a score. So you think, right, could that be a turning point? Can we think, right, galvanise from that, kick on? They should have capitalised, but they didn't. So some of those things like go in your favour. You think, right, it's going to be our day, but it just wasn't that same. It were just chances like this, easy save for the goalkeeper, and just didn't create anything. And like I mentioned about the control thing, Marcelo Bielsa always loves having that control all the way over the pitch, and we just didn't have that. This one here, good block. Not sure if it was going in, but you see how many bodies there for Sheffield Wednesday, getting back, making it difficult. We knew it was going to be like that. It's the Yorkshire derby; they're going to be fired up for it. But no, it was just really disappointing, because again, it's half a chance. You can see Patrick Bamford's complaining to the referee. I think it's good defending. He just like grabbed hold of him a little bit there, didn't allow him to have a free header, and that's why I said it over the bar. Difficult to keep it on target. So, like I said, chances just few and far between second half.
I mean, you spoke about the work rate of Bamford, and you can't criticise them for their energy and their effort, but it is just a case of being more clinical, isn't it?
Of course it is. And I think Kiko there might be probably disappointed with that goal. You expect a top keeper to probably save that. It's only one place he's kind of gone through, like near post. And look, at that moment you're just thinking, right, game's petering out, probably take a point, move on. We've not been as best in the second half. And sometimes you do that. If you're not going to win the game, don't lose it. We heard Stuart Dallas mention about that after the Preston game, where like I said, if you're not going to win the game, come away with a point. Dust yourselves off, go to the next one, and this is the second goal. By this time, the bodies are spread open. There's plenty of space for Sheffield Wednesday just getting behind. Good finish from the heel, and like I said, the game probably over by then. Didn't look like we were going to get back into it, and it just capped off an extremely disappointing afternoon, and a particularly disappointing second half.
It was indeed. Right then, let's take a look at the match stats from today's game. So we can see there 67% possession, 5 shots on target for Leeds United and 2 for Sheffield Wednesday.
And the main stats, the first one there, 2-0. Well, we can go throughout possession, shots on target, shots off corners.
But it is frustrating when you see that and you go, we had chances there.
It is. The boys will be really disappointed today, because they'll feel they'll probably let themselves down. They dip below the standards of set, and the bar they've set is really, really high. And it just goes to show, you dip below your performance, you get punished, don't matter who against. Championship, it's relentless, teams are tough, they've got some good individuals. Sheffield Wednesday proved that. And sometimes, like I say, if you're not at your best for whatever reason, particularly in the second half, just find a way, come away with a point. Yeah, it's disappointing at home not to win the game, but a point's better than obviously a defeat. So look, they'll be a little bit disappointing, but the good thing about this set of players, they're so mentally tough. They know they've got to kick on again, because look, we've got to in that position where we need to keep going.
And what do you think they need to do sort of between now and the QPR game? What do they need to work on to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Just the intensity for doing it for the 90 minutes. So Arsenal were excellent first half, we dipped a bit in the second half, but you probably put that down to a Premier League team. But we've done it again today, where we're good first half, dipped again in the second half. So maybe something to have a little look at like that.
Just retaining that energy.
Kind of, yeah. Play in the right areas as well. If something's not working, just try maybe do something a little bit different. If it's not working out playing from the back, the diagonal passes worked really well in the first half. Hardly did any in the second half. So if something's working well, probably keep doing that. But the message will be, we're still a good team, we're still a good group of players. One game doesn't make us horrific overnight. So look, let's say dust ourselves off. It's still a long way to go. We're still in a really, really good position. So let's go again.
But if that happens again, Ben Parker, me and you are giving a team talk.
We are.
Right then, let's take a look at the full-time results in the Championship today. We saw